to Boston, lives in a world she's lost in, victim of compromise. He's staring at her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's whistling the catacombs, a paradox. He's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just sheds her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that I forgot. Wasted moments, full of potential that torments. An angel in disguise, but he can see her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. Oh, he's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just sheds her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. That time forgot. The girl that time forgot. You let her go, catacombs. You let her go, let her go, catacombs. You let her go. She just sheds her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. be loved, making ladders out of cowboy sheets. We will be gone while we're counting stars, they're counting sheep. Peter, hold your breath, don't make a sound. Just keep running and keep running and keep running. In our heads we're 10 feet off the ground. Just keep running and keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. Feeling alone, never thought I'd see this place again. I'm growing old, in a different world, you stay the same. I just hold my breath, don't make a sound. I'm running, I keep running, I keep running, 'cause I can see you quite as clearly now. I'm running, I keep running. Between us, sleeping awake, where you can still remember dreams. I swear I'll always love you. You know that place between us, sleeping awake, where you can still remember dreams. I swear I'll always love you, and that's where I'll be waiting. That's where I'll be waiting. It's been too long with too many wrongs. What have I done? You've forgotten the words to our song. Now it's gone. Take it back just for one night. Take all the wrongs and pretend that we're alright. Feel the rhythm in our souls, let them entwine. 'Cause you know what you do to me. It's not fair, I don't care. Take you there, make you mine before we're out of time. Let's synchronize. Let's synchronize. Don't be so distant. Don't be so distant. So distant, distant from me, from me. You're so close, and yet so far. So I fight it, and here we are in each other's arms. Take it back just for one night. Take all the wrongs and pretend that we're alright. Feel the rhythm in our souls, let them entwine. 'Cause you know what you do to me. It's not fair, I don't care. Take you there, make you mine before we're out of time. Let's synchronize. Step with me, let our bodies sing in harmony till the morning light. Synchronize.
hunting vultures as they fly. Every spring a flower blossoms in my hand, and every winter time it dies. I've become the hunted. I've become the hunted. I've become the hunted.
Okay, and we're back. You guys here? Cool. So, welcome back, everybody, to Blood in the Streets, brought to you guys by FirstBlood.io and Antlion Audio. I am the source. Joining me is Skim Gaming and Drag and Drop Dota, and I heard some weird sounds behind me. That just happens to be the other computer doing other things. Now that that's dealt with, we've got, let's see, let me pull up the bracket. So we had Crescendo and Singularity, Battle It Out Singularity, won with, I would say, fairly convincing 2-0, and they will be moving on to the next round. And Crescendo is not out of it. They will be moving down into the lower bracket now. We have ProDota versus EPG. Why don't you guys give us a bit of an introduction into these two teams?
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Dark Seer.
Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining.
It's possible, but highly unlikely.
Remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick.
Rubik.
Hold on 1 second. Nobody can hear you guys, which I find interesting.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lives. At least I can blame you. It's not
Okay.
myself.
They can hear you now,
Okay.
but
Oh no.
I guess, guys,
I'm done. I'm done to do the intro again.
we don't have time though.
It's fine.
Maybe we can do it later. So, guys, just
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's
so
go to the draft more so than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, sorry
draft
for the
matters
hang
more,
up.
but I just
Just imagine that we had the most beautiful intro.
just imagine there was a
we
great
talked in
intro and
detail.
everything
Yeah.
was fine.
Hey, in game, people listen to it, and
No, the in-game audio is also still done
Yeah,
for drafts.
in-game audio is
That's
Oh,
me,
all
so.
right. Screw that then.
Oh well, Castle Life gotta deal with that.
All
But yeah,
right.
maybe we can bring something like that back in game number 2. But for now, Twin Protector Juggernaut, Rubik, Queen of Pain from ProDota Gaming, Darkseer, Jakiro, Sanking, Razor, Skim, take it away. What can you see so far?
What
Radiant
I see so
team
far
pick.
is very strong team fight from EPG. Jakiro, Doxier, Senking, a lot of AoE abilities, Razor as well with Plasma Field, a lot of control as well. They're not really ulti reliant, or cooldown reliant, I should say. So a lot of sort of sustained fighting capabilities. But ProDota,
Radiant team
they
pick.
are very well rounded as well. Juggernaut, Queen of Pain, very sustainable damage. Rubik is just really good at countering pretty much any of the EPG heroes because all of these spells are delicious to steal. Ice
Yeah.
Path, oof, one of the best spells to steal in the game.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Trin Protector
10
provides a lot of
seconds
sustain on the
remaining.
laning stage and in those fights as well. Pairs very, very nicely with the Queen of Pain.
5 seconds
Strong
remaining.
drafts from both teams, I think. I think both teams have a really good shot at this game, and they look like both teams
Reserve
have a
time.
good and solid plan going into this game. It's like, all right, we want to do this. ProDota maybe a bit more reactionary with their picks, but overall it's still a very solid draft. I'm a bit surprised actually. You know what? Going into the series, I did a bit of research, and I was expecting to see ProDota picking up the Bane. Like that was something that stood out to me when I watched ProDota, and when I did research them. It's like, yo, we like first face picking Bane actually. I think it makes sense. It's one of J4's signature heroes, and it's like a strong hero to combo up with. It's very unique though,
Dire
and I
team
expected
pick.
that. And then they just go ahead and go with the boring Treant Protector.
Yeah,
But they make
well,
up for it with the Nature's Prophet. That's not boring.
It is indeed. So adding more trees into the mix. But yeah, I kind of do like the Predator draft with or without the Bane. Like you have
10
a good amount of
seconds
sustain between the
remaining.
Juggernaut and the Healing Water and the Tree Protector. Uh,
5
Rubik
seconds
pick, as you
remaining.
said, great for just stealing all the spells and making some of these spells even better, right?
Reserve
You were
time.
mentioning Jakiro. Your Rubik just has no cast points on any of these spells, whereas Jakiro has like a gigantic wind up on both Dual Breath as well as the Ice Paths. So it's something to look out for. And also, in this game in particular, seeing how EPG have a lot of magic damage to throw out right now, that null fields is not something to ignore later down the line. It's making Epicenter and Jakiro spells so much less effective, really. But that being said, I do love how EPG's lineup can work together. There's a lot of control between Sanking and Jakiro, and in particular in conjunction with the Darkseer, having the Darkium into the Ice Path
Templar
is just
assassin.
a very great, reliable way of locking people down and setting them up for the Razor to deal some damage, and now the Templar Assassin also to do some very nasty things. Let's just
Yeah.
put it that way.
She's a good addition to the hero to the lineup. Really, it helps with the taking objectives, something that the lineup so far lacked. I guess you have Razor that can hit towers sort of, but Razor has a very light touch towards towers. Let's just put it that way. So TA helps with this, with push, with taking Roshan. Is just generally a strong hero because you can clear camps, so you can take advantage of ancient stacks, for example, which if you look towards ProDota's side, nobody could do, for example, right? I guess maybe Nature's Prophet if you tank with the trees, but that's very nah. Or maybe
very sad.
Juggernaut with the
10
Battle
seconds
Fury.
remaining.
So who do you
But,
guys think you favor based on these drafts right now?
5 seconds remaining.
I think I'm going with EPG.
I don't know, still kind of like ProDota because I see Kaiser picking up the Queen of Pain, and he really likes his hero, right? And he can do quite amazing things with it.
All
don't know.
right.
or
Well,
give it
we're
to them.
little bit of a split decision. We'll find out who was right and who was wrong. This is Blood in the Streets Dota 2 Championship, brought to you guys by FirstBlood.io and Antlion Audio. I'm the source, and your casters will be Skim Gaming and Dota. Drag and drop Dota. Sorry, I don't know why that was so difficult for me. I wanted to say Dota Drag and drop multiple times. We're getting
That
into
works
game
too.
one between EPG and ProDota. Take it away, guys.
Well,
I'm
straight off
really
the bat.
disappointed by the low or the lack of battle passes on EPG's side. Damn, that's a bad tower. An ugly
Pro
tower.
Dota don't have many levels, but at least they all have battle passes,
Yeah,
so they are supporting
come on.
esports.
Come on, guys. Do you hate esports? Do you hate digital games?
Digital sports.
Digital sport? Oh, that was the meme. Oh god, I'm so bad. My meme
It's
game
all
is not on point.
cyber sports.
Cyber.
I still think that it's ridiculous, but yeah.
Yep.
Regardless, we've got Pro Dota versus EPG here. Got a bit of a pause, so we have some more time to maybe dip back into what we were saying about these teams when we were inadvertently muted.
Right. We did introduce both teams. ProDota, I think the more known one, just because they've been playing a lot of tournaments in the past. I don't know how many months. You pointed out how they've been struggling to find that one roster that they would eventually stick with because, again, they've gone through. I don't even know how many players at this point, but this one seems to work. I think they've done really well with this roster. They've been able to trade blows with a fairly notable teams as well. I think Vega, Team Empire, Mouse Sports even. Actually, they lost against Mouse Sports, but still, I think this ProDota roster looks very promising on paper. Anyway, J4 possibly the most known one yet. Maybe next to Garder in Milan. So
Yeah.
these guys are definitely. I don't know. They're very promising. I guess is
They're
the only
very
real word that
talented
I
for
can
sure,
come up
yeah.
with. Yeah.
Like you look at each of these players, and it's almost like I'm a Liquid fan, right? One of the reasons I'm such a big Liquid fan is that every one of their players has the capacity to just make great plays to carry the game. And I look at ProDota, and I've been casting them a lot over the past couple of months, and in this with the squad, and all of them also have that same kind of potential spark, if you know what I mean, right? All of them can really
Right.
make these plays that if they can do them more consistently and all of them at the same time, then they could that could actually lead them to higher levels even. So I like watching them. They're a lot of fun to watch as well. So
30 seconds to
for
battle.
me, they're the favorites coming into this series in general. But EPG at the same time, they had some extra practice with their new squad as well in the qualifiers, and who knows what kind of monster slumbers in them.
Yeah. Like you
A4
said.
already in trouble. The body blocks coming
Oh.
through. Stand in here.
There's another burst strike. Yeah, it's a dead train.
FirstBlood.io, one of our sponsors. It's already being spilled as the horn blows.
But yeah, EPG they did change the roster barely 4 or 5 days ago. And this is sort of their first tournament. Like you said, they did have to qualify for this, so they did get some experience with this new roster. But still, that leaves ProDota as definitely the favorites going into this. And LeBron, no,
Look at
I
this.
don't want to
Yeah.
die now.
Look at this top lane. The creeps haven't even met yet, and they're already starting to bully these heroes out. I mean, LeBron, it's all of his mana now. He has a clarity going, so he'll have one more dual breath. And now Razor,
You can body
with
block
some
him.
body blocks of Treants, maybe they can even get a kill here. Milan does not have enough lift, but yeah, they get it. Like, it's been so long since I've seen Nature's Prophet, let alone have Nature's Prophet that has that much of an impact.
Bottom lane though, Garter, he's gonna pay for this.
Oh, no. He doesn't have to spin. Already
Tried
used
to be
it.
aggressive with the spin earlier.
Oh, no.
A better strategy.
Alright.
It's normally we would say like, all right, let's talk about these lanes, but the action is already happening, skewing these kind of estimates already.
That's a bit rough for both sides losing their carry like this, but I'd say that for Juggernaut, it might be a bit worse because he's gonna keep having to dig into his region all the time. Look at him. He did start with 8 tangos, that's for sure.
Yep.
And just because
Same
he's up
time,
against the
though,
Darkseer.
Yeah, he will have the healing ward available soon to offset some of that though. And you also have the Dream Protector on the field, so once he hits level 3 at the very least, you're gonna have that living armor to try and help out between the Iron Shell waves. So I think
guess.
this is just a matter of Darkseer trying to get as much as he can right now while he can still try and burn through some of that region.
I'm a bit, I guess, disappointed that they did move the Sand King top to help out with the Razor. I kind of wish they would have just stuck him there or kept him bottom with the Darkseer. I think that would have been a very aggressive lane that they could have run. Because Treant Protector, even though he is tanky and deals a lot of damage against Cossack Finale and Iron Shell, it's a very rough lane.
Lift onto Illidan, start to suck some damage with 33, and he doesn't seem to care. He's going to die here more than likely here to LeBron, but maybe not. He got the kill first on
The body
the
block
Razor.
again.
Yeah, that dual breath, only connecting with one of the instances, I believe. Only with the movement speed slow.
They think he TP'd out already, I think.
Dire's courier
I'm
has
not
been
even looking
killed.
for him. And they lose the courier towards the Treant Protector.
J4.
This is a fantastic start for ProDota.
Yeah. Didn't even see that with the action going forward, but yeah, he's just sneaking his way back. Of course, with the enormous damage, he could one punch any sort of walking courier. And even later, right? If you get close to a courier, you right-click them out of Invis, you just root them, so you always get that second hit in, even on flying couriers. So it's actually one of the better courier snipers in the game, if you can get on top of one.
Alright, EPG have now responded to this aggressive lane from the Rubik and Treant, Nature's Prophet. I've never seen this. Dual lane Nature's Prophet, Rubik, and they rotated the Razor towards the bottom lane, but the Rubik has followed you, and the Treant Protector as well.
They have to live, they have to spin, that's level 2 at this point, it's not enough damage. And Illidan, well, not off to a good start. Tried top lane, didn't work out. Tried bottom lane. Also,
I wonder what made him decide to go for the aggressive lane chase. I guess he felt a bit safe with the sentry there and assumed that he would have had to see the Treant Protector, but I think he just didn't see him because of Fog of War.
Yeah.
So a bit of a misplay there, and he TP's back to the top lane now. So he just, and the Darkseer just straight up jungles, I guess. And he was in the jungle before. Maybe he TP's bottom again. This is very weird. All these movements from EPG don't help their case at all.
Yeah. Well, did get one kill on Garda earlier, but ever since then, it's like ProDota have been getting so much more. It's not even counting this middle lane, but this matchup, especially with the courier snipe, Boroni's just getting destroyed by Kaiser right now. 33 and 18 to 19 and 2. He's level 6 just now. Temple Assassin, barely level 5 with his next creep dying. And this just goes to show with the top bottom lane actually Mitch. So there's a search available and gets lifted up. Stanky comes in with 2-man burst strike. Iron Shells are going. But now 33 plus 1 in every fight. Beautiful Sprout here, able to eat through it though. And the Sandstorm will protect the Sand King.
But if you just look at the low HP from the Treant and the Juggernaut just now, this is the power of Darkseer Sand King, right? I mean, if they had just tried to dual lane this,
Gonna go again. Search available. No way to continue.
he's safe. If they had just dual laned the entire time, I'm pretty sure they could have at least won this lane. I know that it's tough to just straight up give up on your safe lane like that, but I want to imagine that if they had dual laned this, they would have been able to at least win that lane.
Yeah.
Or maybe even force the Rubik out of the off lane.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it is what it is. And God just walks straight by the Sand King. Doesn't realize in time. So, yep, working up towards the shrine. And down bottom, Rubik's still there to soak the experience.
Queen of Pain is making her first move. She just went for the room.
EPG going through the river of death.
Is under attack.
I always feel scared when I see someone walking this area.
LeBron is dead. Yeah.
Oh, he
But
is.
they trade for it. This is very good for Illidan. He needed this kill very badly.
Only 6 minutes in, but the kill was worth 400 gold.
And he gets the
That
soul
puts
XP
him-
for it as well.
Yeah. That puts him right up there in reach of his own, of the Garda, even
For the temple.
300, 400 gold off still. Speaking of Garda, he's spinning down some fools down bottom. Mitch, well, there's J4. Does get the root. Milan doesn't have enough mana for another lift. Somewhere out there, they do have a sentry here. They see Sanking leaving. Short range burst strike is enough to keep him safe. So once again, no casualties down here. But at the
Hey,
very least,
jaded
both
out
of
a
these
sentry.
supports, yeah. Sentry force out both these supports sticking around, which gives so much needed space to Illidan.
Yeah, and this is what I imagine could have been the case if they had dual lane it from the beginning. But you know, like I guess they sort of redeem themselves now. And if you just look at
Radiant's
Illidan's
top
farm,
tower is under
sure it's not the
attack.
best, but he's sort of catching up.
Regeneration.
And it is Razor. You can sort of flush farm, pseudo flush farm, I guess, with Plasma Field. It's not the best tool by any means,
No.
but it is still not bad. Can farm multiple camps at once even.
Yeah, it's useful. Also, with this ultimate, you can also use that to try and help clear stacks. Just with your minus armor attached to it. You can even use it for ancients here. So far, we only see this one single stack.
Oh wait, they
Oh,
saw
J4.
J4 on the sentry, so they know that he's here. Do they have another sentry to detect him? Nope.
He's just fighting. TP in from 33, but there's also Sanking here to try and help out. And okay, that was the ultimate bouncing back, wasn't it? So he dies. Meanwhile, Darkseer got super low. Garda finishes him off with an Omni Slash. All of a sudden, ProDota is striking 2 places at once.
That's unfortunate. They don't really have too much damage this early on. The TA doesn't really have the items yet to burst anybody down. She still needs treads at least. And
So might be in trouble right now. Milan and J4 looking for the wraparound. Kaiser actively pushing here, but there's some support available. Sanking ready with a burst strike and will reveal himself now. But he's going to just try chewing these other supports away. So movement from both sides, ultimately leading into a cessation of hostilities, I guess you could say.
it's a bit awkward from both sides because both of them wanted to lay a trap. And the Sand King wanted to go, but then he saw that the 2 other supports were in the tree line as well, and held off on his stun. It was good that he did, because I think if he had connected his stun, I think ProDota would have gone, and I'm not sure EPG would have won that fight. I think ProDota is a really good spot right now, because the heroes, they peak a bit earlier with their abilities as well.
Yeah. Especially Kaiser, right? He already has max level Scream of Pain, Sonic Waveform, of course, online too. So there's a lot of burst damage coming through, so any sort of small little setup from Milan, or even just a root from the Twin Protector, just from a right click, might be
With the
enough to
Veil.
set up for some sort of kill.
The Veil is such a nasty build as well. It combos so well with the Nature's Prophet and the Rubik. And the stats the item provides is just so good. The armor is so good against the TA. Usually, Queen of Pain can get really easily bullied and pushed down by TA. Not necessarily only in the laning stage, but also the mid game. But the Veil of Discord is such a good item to pick up against that.
Now look at that too. The Rune of Many Winds, double damage rune bottles, so I would imagine them to just say, alright, let's smoke up somewhere. Try and find some
The
kills.
seeds of fortune.
I wonder. The thing is, you want to do that and then transition it into a tower push. So if anything, probably bottom, but I'm not sure they would even need the Queen of Pain for that. I think there would be over rotation if they did with the Queen of Pain. I think it's sufficient if we just keep getting Nature's Prophet in.
Yep. Let's see what they want to do. For now, they seem content to just
Well, maybe
continue
they're going
farming
top.
up if
Yeah,
they're
they're
lucky.
going top.
Middle
That's it,
tower
yeah.
is under attack.
J4 didn't quite get the roots, but got the slow, and now, well, no tank is anything left on the Razor, so Omni Slash will connect completely. Body blocks from the trees, beautifully executed.
All
game.
mid.
And there it is, Sonic Wave comes through, and Boronlesia is still being kept alive due to the refraction. With the burst strike there from the Sanking. will be able to limp back home. That was actually pretty good, considering that the Sonic Wave has also been committed and it's now on
Top
cooldown.
lane though, LeBron is
Oh,
dead.
they found another one? Oh yeah, J4.
Dire's top tower.
Second time we see a Treant setting up for so many of these kills today.
Oh, Illidan, don't do this. What?
Oh,
He's
why?
keeping in? He wants the J4 kill, I
Dire's
guess,
top
but
tower is under
He has no help though, Milan's also coming
Yeah.
through. A drum charge being popped here from Nature's Prophet here. They're chasing
Dire's
all
top tower
the way
has
inside
fallen.
the trees.
Radiant's bottom
know
tower
where he
is
is.
under attack.
Oh, yeah.
Queen of Pain is here as well. But I guess they don't want to fight into the tier 2 tower. They know that supporters can come in any time. Maybe they're just waiting for them to sidestep it to one little mistake.
Well, they can just slow push it a little bit. They have the healing
I
ward
guess.
available, they have a bunch of trains. At the same time, bottom lane is being pressured by Mitch, so I might want to respond to that, but
Radiant's
now
bottom
J4
tower
is just
is
sitting
under
there
attack.
with an iron shell on top of him stolen by Rubik's. That's quite a useful spell to have.
I think ProDota is wise to just retreat at this point. There's no real good point in slow pushing it against Plasma Field and Dual Breath. So just falling back a little bit and potentially focus on the mid and bottom tower. Obviously,
Dire's
the
middle
target's
tower
denied.
has been denied. Radiant's bottom tower
I
is
can
under
go
attack.
straight bottom. Of course, Mitch has been doing some chip damage here. Tier 1 actually fairly low, but you have a Treant Protector on the team, so as long as the creeps sort of finish it off right now, you can always heal it back up with living armor. Looking for bigger prizes in the bottom tier 1 by the looks of it here, and they find it. LeBron caught out by J4, Blink in from Kaiser, TB in from 33, mobility being employed quite successfully by ProDota so far. Now another fight, Juggernaut hot. That's, well, the root into the spin, the Mitch. Oh, look at this burst damage! Where did that come from?
Well, that's
Radiant's top tower
max
is under
bounce
attack.
ultimate from the Nature's Prophet and Avail Discord for you.
Looking for the Milan kill, but found a good TP spot. He actually barely able to make it out. LeBron dies again, and Burst Strike and a couple of heroes, but Gata, well, he's spinning. Kaiser's using spells like he wants to. And Boranisha is invis, I believe? Oh yeah, he's sitting down on Melt Strike, so no detection available. Now 33 is in a bit of trouble. Burst Strike will cancel that TP, so they get the 2 tree people.
It was
In a
nice
very
for EPG.
odd fight, yeah.
They
Like,
didn't lose. I think they didn't lose the core heroes. I know they lost the Darks here, but I think at this point you do not want to lose the TA or the Razor, and I guess the same thing as well because he is close to the Blink there. If he had died, that would have been horrible.
oh yeah. That was a really odd fight just in terms of the positioning. Like how often you see fights break out here in this area.
Yeah, I'm not sure why ProDota chose to force it this badly, but they've been sort of grouped up for a while now, and I think they were just desperate, or not necessarily desperate, but they felt
Worthy
forced to take a
tribute.
fight because they have the advantage, right? And it looked like when they started grouping up for the tower push top, they never really separated it again. They just sort of regrouped, and oh, let's just try and go for a kill here. But I'm sure they'll, I mean, say slow it down, but by that I mean not group up again to force a fight, rather maybe look for a few pickoffs. The Queen of Pain by herself can definitely look for a kill or two here.
Bottom Burst Strike actually on second because Milan stole it.
Haste.
Didn't have enough damage here. Gotta come through. Beautiful burrow into vacuum wall. Gata's actually super low. He has to get himself out of here, but Littleton right clicks him down and finishes him off. Now looking for more Burst Strike up to the Hydra. Milan trying to TP out, but no. Boranisha showing off their Blink Dagger comes in for the extra bit of a nuke. Kaiser,
Dire's
J4,
bottom
they
tower
were
is
able
under
to
attack.
finish off the Sanking after all, but at what cost?
At what cost indeed? And honestly, they should have done what I said, not look to force fights like this, but rather, like, if anything, look for pickoffs. But what do? They dive the shrine, past the tier 1 tower, which is still standing.
Oh,
So-
J4 gets covered with dust, LeBron kills all of the trees and another TP through. J4's actually dead.
Yep. Yeah, this is just throwing away the advantage they had, quite frankly. And suddenly, if you look at the net worth, it's not that one-sided anymore. And the items, the valuable items that EPG need, they're coming up as well.
Yeah.
Darkseer almost has his mech. We did see the blink on the Sand King already, but also the TA. Blink on the TA as well. That is such a valuable pickup for her.
Dire's top tower
Blink first
is under
especially,
attack.
it's not something that
Bottom lane,
TAs usually
that's
go
Juggernaut.
for.
Probably, maybe?
Is it? Illidan,
All of
yes,
them
that's
is
gonna have to die for it.
Dire's top tower
Not this
is
time.
under attack.
Lance, stole the surge, able to walk away from Illidan, thankfully. Says 91 damage stolen, but Kaiser also kind of looking for an angle to hop into this fight. There is a level 2 Sonic Wave available. But you
think they wanna
will
go
need
for this.
someone
They-
set up for
They
this.
tasted blood. They have double blink.
Dire's
I think they
top
can dive
tower
this.
is
And they
under
want to.
attack.
They want to dive this for sure.
Radiant structures
Time
are
J4,
fortified.
his overgrowth off cooldown again, and got it. With the only slash at the ready, he is gonna have to react right now, but he's actually already dead. Overgrowth's come through, and well, the call was made. No, forget about it. Without Gata, I'm not taking this fight.
It's
Radiant's bottom
it's
tower
quite
is under
funny
attack.
how quickly this game turned around like this, and
Radiant's
ProDota
bottom
is so not
tower
prepared
is
for this.
falling.
If you look at the map,
It's not
they
even
have
over
4
yet. Rubik went for the steal, did get the free fraction, so that's keeping him alive a little bit longer. Together with the living armor, but Voronisha, do you really want to do this here? Blinks forward, goes on Milan, tries to finish off these right clicks, and yeah, he'll get the kill.
You came too close to
This was like a what? That was a 4-5k advantage in
Radiant
favor of
structures
ProDota,
are
all but
fortified.
evaporated right now.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower.
And the point I was
is
trying to
under
make
attack.
is they thought they were going to be ahead for a while now. They had 4 aggressive wards. Like they had 2 in the main Dire jungle and 2 in the other one.
I thought after the
Lame.
big channel vacuum into the wall, into the burst strike, an absolute disaster. 3 people die, now to look for more Kaiser, of course. He can blink out, got her. Well, has to be careful, not sticking around here as well. Another blink available, burst strike, has enough mana for it now. Milan slowed down, Voronisha with the blink forward, there it is. And we'll get the Rubik here, which drops one more right click, got her. Well, trying to spin away, but the right clicks are still there. Illidan surge forward, he can dive through high ground easily, yeah! He can't even get the only slash off. Kaiser gets a counter kill with a beautiful Sonic Wave, it's a scream. But this is still EPG just saying, hey, we'll take what you're
Radiant's
giving
bottom
us.
tower is under attack.
And they're going to take a tier 2 tower. In the span of what,
Radiant's bottom tower is
5 minutes maybe? They turned the game around.
Well, gonna try and find LeBron. He's kind of isolated in the middle, so that should be kind of
Poor
confidence
LeBron.
booster here for Kaiser at 33.
Radiant's middle tower
There it
is
is.
under attack.
It's like it's what, 6th death? Yeah. It's, that's not too fine. But I mean,
Hashtag stop dragon abuse.
if you're the support though, you're fine. If they just keep on killing you, that's fine. As long as the cores don't die. But yeah, the ProDota, they just gave the game away, and now they have to sort of come back from behind. I guess it's the nice thing for them is the fact that Kaiser's still pretty farmed. He hasn't really fallen behind at all. And also, let me just quickly check that before. Yeah, he hasn't died a single time.
Yep.
He just made sure to always, fall back when things got too hairy. So this is pretty nice for them. They will always have the split push factor with the Nature's Prophet. So going into the late game, they will always have a way of making sure, even if they are behind by a massive margin, they can always trade, sort of. And I guess the Juggernaut is behind, but
Radiant's
ultimately
middle
it's
tower is
it's
under
Juggernaut.
attack.
He doesn't need a
Dire's
lot of
top
items,
tower
I
is
don't
under
think.
attack.
He has a lot of valuable spells still, and he can still come back into this game. So I think they still have the tools necessary. I mean, they have Rubik, for crying out loud. Rubik is an excellent hero in this game.
We fight Kaiser though. Smoked up into the Blink Barrow.
Perfect
way out
chain
of that.
spells.
Yep. And might not have done yet. Here Milan trying to TP out. Damage is not quite enough. It was dangerous close though.
But it ensures Roshan. That
Yeah.
kill on the campaign ensures Roshan, and 3-3 is doing the right thing, immediately split pushing.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not looking good for ProDota right now. With this Aegis, they can even go and push mid tower as well. Even though it's getting healed up, they'll be able to get that as well.
Roshan has
Slowly but
fallen
surely,
to the
they're
ground.
taking control of the map in the game.
Dire's structures are fortified.
EPG, that is.
Tier 1 will even be defended here, at the very least denied. These TPs coming through. Let's be careful though, because the catapult might snag it if he's not juggling the aggro properly. Yeah, middle lane.
They
tier
see
1.
Senkin TPing out, they
Healed
should
up.
fight this.
Bottom tower is under
Oh,
attack.
J4 ready for
Dire's
big
bottom
overgrowth here. Just goes for the right click group. Overgrowth now comes through. Darkseer still gets the vacuum wall off. Didn't have any more follow up here. Doesn't look like it's Sonic Wave on everybody, but Voronisha actually dodging it with the refraction here. Mitch still not quite dead just yet. Now he is with the stolen plasma field. Kaiser blinks across the other side. He needs extra right clicks in Milan. Snagging an extra kill with Nuke of his own. Now Baronesia.
Senking is back
yeah,
though.
you do have the Aegis. Maybe you want to try and turn this here on the back of that. And yeah, Baronesia can find some one kill. Good burst strike. Ilden ultimate appearance. Aegis being triggered, but now ProDota, they have to get the hell out of here. And 33, well, he will not be able to do that. Tried to go for the tree and body blocks, but then, well, blings, face boots.
Yep.
Not really something that
But
you can
still,
rely on.
they lost the Train Protector and the Deisha's Prophet for what? 2 kills and an Aegis?
Yeah.
That is fine. That's a trade you take. And very well timed from PD as well. They waited for the Sand King to TP out. They knew that Illidan wasn't there, who was actually across the map, and immediately took the fight. Sure, they lost the tier 1, but very well worth it.
Could have definitely been much more dangerous for ProDota if they... Like Kaiser, he was dropping very low at one point. Don't think Garo was even part of that for too long, was he?
No. He actually, Garo actually joined very late as well. So they fought, what, 4v4, I guess? No, 4v3. 4v3. Yep. Well, Rubik also shown that, you know, Plasma Field is an excellent spell to steal.
Oh yeah. Just such a big nuke if you can land it at max range. It's like 370.
As a Rubik, you probably want to land it at max range because you don't really want to put yourself in harm's way. Like other spells potentially could, such as like Dual Breath. Dual Breath doesn't have necessarily the longest range. But I still think that Ice Path is probably the best spell to steal.
That and Burst Strike, I think. Burst Strike is even better because you have
only once you have Blink. I think just Burst Strike without Blink is not that great.
Yeah. For initiation, but yeah, just in terms of having that mobility to if you get caught out. Yeah. But yeah, right now he has Sandstorm, not what you're looking for ideally.
I mean, Max Sandstorm, he can farm camps with that.
Yay.
He got buffed again.
Then again, that's your Rubik taking farm.
True. Oh, you do want to give him farm right now, though. He's so close to his Blink, you definitely... And I mean, they have been doing so for the last, what, 2 minutes now? He's been farming this lane just by himself.
Yep.
Oh.
The trap is being set.
He's so close to his Blink. Don't do this to him.
He's sandstorming it up. And, dodges the Ice Path, steals it. That's pretty good. That makes a little Ice Path. That'll keep Temple Assassin away for a little bit, but he's still there.
Oh, he loses 200 gold. That sets him back so badly.
So we could not let you.
Space graded for top, question mark.
Yes, and bottom.
He's pushing it.
See, this is the good part about ProDota's lineup. They have 2 very mobile heroes
Top tower
that
is under
can
attack.
always farm across the map. So, if pickoffs like these occur,
Radiant's
they can
middle
always
tower
trade
is under
efficiently.
attack.
In terms of, I'm pretty sure that if we looked at like network changes in the past, what minute now with the skill, would still look very even.
90% it goes. J4 he is invis, but still taking damage until he heals himself back up.
Oh, he walked out of range. Living armor.
Okay, space created once again. It's like,
Yep.
good spell. So yeah, so far ProDota is using the tools that they have to try and stabilize and get back into the game. Is there anything that ProDota or that EPG can do to force them not to be able to do that? Like,
Yeah.
can it pressure high ground effectively?
Not necessarily high ground. I mean, you do want to pressure high ground at some point, but I think they just smoke up and look for a kill. I'm not even sure what exactly it is they're waiting for, because they've been very passive for a while now. Ever since they got killed, ever since they lost the Aegis, they've been very passive. I assume they're waiting for a certain item. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Bloodthorn on TA? Or the BKB. How fresh is that BKB? It seems very fresh, so probably the BKB.
BKB just came out, Sanjina
And yeah,
also.
now they
pressure
smoke up,
cookie
so I
from
guess it was
Razor,
the BKB.
yeah.
It's... They definitely need to make something happen. You do not want to give ProDota time to farm, because again, they cannot farm you because they're so much more mobile than you are.
J4 not in the best position to cover this.
That's
They
a big
wrap
flank.
all the way around.
They just find the quad. That's devastating.
Courier's flying
Patient
by.
on the
Kaiser.
courier.
Woohoo! Not sure if that was just a random
Radiant's
blink
top
or
tower
whether
is
he
under
felt
attack.
that coming. But Kaiser,
Oh god. And
he
you
was a
could
Death Storm.
you could see from ProDota that like, don't go for the courier. We want the Queen of Pain.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That was so close. The funny thing is, if somebody had blinked towards the courier to get the courier, he would have been at the Queen
Dire's
of Pain.
middle tower is under attack.
Because she blinked towards the courier.
TV from Sankey will be cancelled. Milan also coming in, but it's two supports here. They're both dusted up. Milan will probably pay with his life force forward, back you back.
He has blink
You
at
see,
least.
pick up his blink, yeah. And now Kaiser, hell no!
What?
That's a lot of burst damage, just take one out immediately. And then continue to casually farm the wave. Like, this is Kaiser in a nutshell here. Finds even more with the setup there from J4. They want to try and find Ilden. They get some help from 33. Living armor to keep J4 alive. What the hell is happening?
Dire's
Double kill,
bottom
Neki,
tower
and
is
another
under
one.
attack.
Yields him up into the air. Another surge
He's showing the
available.
diving for- Oh, he is. Yeah, why
Dead.
not actually?
Stick charges. Shiva's got triple kill.
I was
This,
gonna say, yeah. No.
like, I was hyping up Kaiser earlier. Kaiser's Queen of Pain earlier, wasn't I?
Yep. Yep.
And even
he
I'm
did,
surprised by this. Like,
he did.
damn.
That was impressive. It almost seemed very casual. Like you said, he just instantly blows somebody up and goes back to farming, and then, oh, wait, they're sticking around, I can kill them? Oh, I guess, alright, I'll come.
Yeah.
And then he just chose to kill Razor and Darkseer, and at the same time, Garter solo killed the Jakiro as well, bottom lane,
Yeah.
because Jakiro wanted to defend the
Dire's
Safety Tower by
top
himself.
tower is under attack.
Poor Dragon.
I feel his pain.
That was not great. Especially considering the fact that EPG did just try to smoke up and find a kill on ProDota, like a minute before that. So this definitely hurts their economy and confidence. I think this is one of those plays or one of those scenarios where you suddenly feel like you're not the team that leads anymore, and you start playing a bit more skater on the map. Either that, or you just take even bigger risks because you think you have to. And this is granted. This is considering the fact that PD already did farm more efficiently around the map anyway, right? They were always spread with the Nature's Prophet and the Queen of Pain, so I wonder what this does for the net worth.
Well, right now, ProDota has regained the lead, sitting about 1.5k. Especially with the tower going down up top. So, yeah, where do we go from here? Because Aegis is back on the docket pretty damn
Dire's
soon.
top tower is under attack.
It's a long respawn though, 1 minute and 40 seconds until that's coming back. And Ilden, well, he fights Milan, Boronesia comes through with the extra bursts and Kaiser. Still a bit of trouble actually.
He has a Yolt, so he can blink, it's fine, honestly. Yeah. Oh, that's not...
They can cancel a TP? Okay, almost,
Alright.
almost.
Look, farming this aggressively in the enemy jungle, that is just cocky.
Yeah.
That's just cocky. And then TPing like that, that's also... I mean, I guess not cocky, but it's like, yeah. Very confident, let's just put it that way.
Yep.
I think if you're ProDota, I don't think you feel pressured at all. Your lineup transitions very smoothly into the late game. Juggernaut needs to catch up anyway. So I think you just slow down a bit, and if you find opportunities, sure, but you don't necessarily need to like smoke gank and like find like a pick off here and there to do something. I think if anything, that's EPG. I think EPG needs to do this now, maybe. After they found that kill on the Rubik, just, you know, go for more confidence plays like that.
Dire's
Find a kill on the
bottom tower is
tree,
under
find a
attack.
kill on the Juggernaut. Or the Rubik again.
There's a lot of hate towards Milan. 5 people just showing their face.
You know, if luck was on their side, Roshan would have been up right now, and they could take Roshan.
Dire's
But
Only 50
unfortunately-
seconds, so that's close enough.
Yes.
If they figure it out, I guess. Yeah.
Well, they have a
Dire's
shot in
bottom
them.
tower
They will
has
figure it
been
out.
denied.
Oh yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And boop, boop. Come on. There we go. Time was lying to me. God damn it. But yeah, at the same time, bottom lane was being pushed in by Garda. They took the tier 2. J4 still keeping an eye on what's happening here. Maybe looking for a courier kill, honestly. And
Possibly?
I didn't quite see it.
Alright, random side question. Like, totally nothing to do with the game. If you hover over the Roshan thing, like next to the minimap, it
Yep.
lights up for you, right?
Yep.
I wonder what happens if you click on it.
Nothing.
I really don't want to, but... Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're boring.
J4 gets caught. Pops the overgrowth.
They have a gem, there's no way he's gonna get out of it.
They do indeed, yeah.
I was long overdue that gem, and again, EPG perfect. They need these confidence plays, they know Roshan is up. This kill is not going to change anything, but they need these confidence plays, build up maybe one more item, possibly BKB on the Razor as well, and then go for a kill, and then Roshan. PD, they just need to keep slowly applying pressure, get the Juggernaut up, because right now he's, I guess with Mantis Diffusal Blade, it's not too bad, but it's also not the best fighting shape.
Well, it's also not the best of the one hero you run into.
So cheeky. The trade is thinking like, how did you not see him? He was right there.
That's a bit annoying if like you have the defense blade reveal more or less, so you're looking for a kill. But then the one hero that you run into is one of the most like mobile heroes in the game right now, with Blink, Force Staff, and Burst Strike available.
And then Sandstorm as well, you know, if you
Yeah, that too.
can consider that as well. But yeah, EPG going for a smoke now with 3 heroes. I like this. Again, I think EPG are the ones that need to do something like this. They need to find one more pickoff, and I think if they find something like maybe even the Nature's Prophet. By the way, 3 great job at avoiding gags like this. But if they find the Nature's Prophet, that's like an instant Roshan. And they see him as well with a ward. That's his beautiful ward. And he is in range of Sand King's initiation. Oh, they just go Roshan like that, and they just don't even need to pick up. Never mind.
Smoke into Roche. It has been spotted out over the tree, but way too late. Aegis and Cheese now in their hands.
Find
They
the
still
Fury.
find a stun onto Nature's Prophet here. Milan with the lift. Bit of an extra stun onto the Razor, but he'll pay for his sins. Casually slapped down. And...
I guess after
Well,
all
they
the
have to
times-
respond to bottom lane though. Look at this. The red Dota is strong with ProDota today.
I guess after all the time that Milan has given them their blood, they acquired like a taste for Rubik blood. Well, yeah, this is EPG fighting their way back into the game. If you look at the net
Radiant's
worth and the
middle tower is under
experience, it's
attack.
definitely, you know, going back to sort of... I mean, experience is definitely in favor of EPG, but net worth looks to be almost equal again.
Yep. Hasn't really been that much of, or that big of a lead anyway for either team. The biggest one was like, what, 4.5k from ProDota at one point?
Right, but you also need to consider that, I guess, ProDota's lineup, they don't necessarily need to be ahead in terms of net worth to be stronger.
Those heals, there's nothing available, but there's follow-up lockdown, not enough damage though. That was quite scary for a moment because Kaiser blinked right into the middle lane.
I'll take your
On top of
This
those.
seeds of fortune.
Kaiser, I think, at some point also has to consider going for a BKB or at the very least a Lincoln Sphere. So his itemization so far is very, very glass cannon-ish. The Yield Scepter is the only defensive item really. And if they, I mean, they did so earlier, right? When they perfectly changed their stuns, they can definitely kill him. I guess in a team fight, that scenario is more unlikely or less likely, but still, it is dangerous.
That being said though, he's getting dangerously close to level 25, so the 70% lifesteal... I guess if you're not getting any spells off, you're not lifestealing, but it's like, if... Just with the sheer strength gain that he has, I mean, he's already sitting at 2k health
Radiant's
points,
middle tower
like
is
30
under
armor,
attack.
give or take. So where's the damage actually going to come from to burst through him within the burst strike and ice path potentially durations?
Fair enough. And
So
he can
it's-
just... I mean, that said, he does have BKB queued up in his quick buy.
Yeah, it still makes sense, but
No, I get where you're coming from.
regardless,
I get
it's
where-
gonna be hard for EPG to burst them down. With
And
or
you could
without
argue,
BKB.
you could definitely argue that if he builds into something like a Scotty, he just becomes incredibly tanky, so that they would literally have to perfectly chain him down in order to kill him.
Yeah.
And without, like, with the current abilities that they have, it's probably not going to be sufficient.
Well, Overgrowth. You see this time and time again, J4 on the tree and just finds somebody, and next thing you know, 5 heroes around that guy. Just dragging him to his death.
It's 40 seconds. The thing for ProDota is though, it's gonna translate into anything. Well, this might.
Okay, well, gets the burst strike out. Ilden caught with some tree within the trees. And TP in from LeBron. There might have been a mistake here. Nice little sidestep there on the ult. And now a Hex onto the Razor. He is down to half health. Dealing some damage from 33, and there has some extra health from Boronisha, looking to try and touch up the prop, but should be able to, but at the same time, Ilden also takes a spell, 3-4 on trade. Godlike Spree for the TA, but is this gonna stop the push? There's no buyback on Ilden.
Well,
Boronisha, if you die here.
the push sort of died with the Nature's Prophet. Don't think you
Yeah,
can really
that's-
push
that's
anything
true
without the
though,
Nature's
yeah.
Prophet, and the lanes aren't even pushed in that much. I guess they could try and siege bottom, but Sentient and Darkseer back, so it's not really something you want to do.
I think they could have maybe put some damage pips on this tier 2 tower mid though.
Potentially, but I think it would have been maybe a bit too risky, and I think the way ProDota has been playing in the past, what, 15 minutes, I guess, shows that they want to take it a bit slow, and that they don't mind taking it long, like late
Yep.
game. Again, their roster or their lineup definitely transitions into the late game. Juggernaut has a lot of room to grow.
Oh,
For heresy
I caught them a pure chance.
The funny thing is,
two hits.
the funny thing is, I didn't even realize that TA was there, so I was just watching Garter farm, and then I see like a red crit sign
Yeah.
in the corner of my eye. It's just like, oh, somebody just got deleted.
Yeah. I mean, Boronisha, he's absolutely stacked. Right? Has the Bloodthorn, has the Boots of Travel even. Power Treads in the inventory here. Can flip that back in just for the stats once the Aegis expires. Which is right now, in fact, so...
It's unfortunate for them. They would have wanted to do more with this Aegis. I think the fact that they just had to respond to that fight made it a bit awkward. Because otherwise I think they would have wanted to look for a tower push potentially with the Aegis.
I still have the cheese at the very least on Illidan, so it's kind of a mini Aegis in many ways.
I guess, but you really don't necessarily want to, like, oh, top lane.
Oh,
And they...
there it is, Epicenter! Not enough damage here. Once again,
Alright.
Kaiser, he's pretty tanky. He's level
Now
25 now, so you can just blink in, use 2 spells, and he's full health. So,
Now I have to wonder what
worry.
they expected to happen here. I mean, he wasn't even really close to death, right? I think they definitely need the Jakiro, which, by the way, he's dead.
Omnislash, yeah, bouncing back, just, no, silence comes through, he needs some help here, and he does get it. Vacuum, no follow-up, Higata will still die to Ragtag's Vacuum stolen, but okay. Lan, once again, just dies immediately, Kaiser has to pop the BK with UB defensively now. To blink back to the middle lane, scrambling to get themselves out, because this TA can't really mess with Boronisha right now.
This was a really good pickoff for ProDota. They killed the Juggernaut, and they can push a tower because of this. They also forced a BKB charge from the Queen of Pain. They know that they chased away both the Queen of Pain and the Nature's Prophet, so that's an easy tier 2 for them. I don't think they can threaten high ground. Actually, if Razor was here, I think they could even force out a buyback from Juggernaut, but they're not committing to this, so
has fallen.
Juggernaut can keep his buyback.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Look at Kaiser. I think he's skipping creep waves top.
Yeah,
That's why Illidan's kind of trying to fish for him and just keep him away. Yeah, it's... Push will be stopped in his tracks at the
Illidan has
high
done
ground.
some made some really weird decisions in my opinion. Like why would you chase a Queen of Pain? It's a Queen of Pain and you're a Razor. And B, he just activated a shrine for like what 100 mana.
Okay.
Just some weird thing, just some weird stuff. I'm just saying.
He's also top and he hasn't really pushed it out.
Yeah, like he TP. Yeah, why did he even TP to the shrine? I don't know. It's weird, but it does leave this smoke gang open where he has to run towards, if anything.
Couple of fears
gotta catch
around,
somebody.
blink in, they do catch a slow, plus the lift. Yeah, good force out there.
Yeah, very good force stuff.
That was from LeBron, wasn't it? Yeah. That was really good.
Well, it had
Now-
to be. Sankin couldn't have used it on himself
Yeah.
while he was there in the air.
Now Illidan and Boronisha are looking to try and find somebody, but they're just a little bit too late. ProDota abort. And at the same time, down bottom, the push is going there. Rather far away from any sort of objective though. So right now, ProDota Just looking to stabilize. In terms of items, Scarlet is looking at the butterfly. They're quite a ways away though.
I think it's a bit weird how ProDota's playing this game. You know, this whole, yeah, we'll just do, I don't know what they're doing. And we'll just farm all game and make sure we win this late. Well, that's true. I wonder if they never bothered to check that they had a new gem. Or is that even a new one? I'm not even sure.
I think it's the old one. Don't think he died any time.
No, I think they lost it at some point. No, I guess it is the old one. I can't find another one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, why didn't? So many questions.
That should help.
Anyway, let's just categorize that as a blunder.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just in the zone, like you're treants, you're like AFK. You're like, alright, let me just chill between the trees here, and then it's like, alright, that guy had a gem. Well, guess I'm dead now.
Anyway,
Swift
Garter,
to the temple's defense.
he's still catching up. He's just 3k behind the Razor. It's not great. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, ProDota, it's a bit strange this approach if we'll take it late. Oh, campaign.
Yeah, okay, we come through. Kaiser, yeah, you can actually kill him.
Seeds of fortune.
She has a 25 level talent. She doesn't really care too much about these heroes anymore.
The problem is that's another BKB charge down. It was 9-second charge, and now TP's through. They're looking for Milan, they should probably get him. Yeah.
They really like his blood.
Cool guy.
This will only hurt.
Does this open up the high ground push now? Lanes are fairly pushed in on the sides.
They just don't want to give them any more time.
Yeah.
And without buyback, that's like a
Radiant's
5v4
is under
situation.
attack.
I'm not even sure if they're gonna come back for this. I think they're gonna trade. They can have the Queen play
Radiant
this.
structures are fortified.
And I
It's
think
being
they,
used.
Radiant's
TPs are coming
middle
back.
tower is under attack.
Just to secure the start of the throw down a macro pyre and nice path here clear from some of these trees. But it's not gonna stop the Coon. And might even get the kill here, just with the hacks, with the sprout.
Dyer's
And-
bottom tower is under attack.
Quite enough damage with the 4-star. Meanwhile on the back though, the fight is going, you vacuum with the burst strike into the wall. That's a lot of damage being done. The J4 still gets the overgrowth off. Kaiser now with the BKB, starting to right click his way to victory, blink forward. And throw down another couple of spells
oh, no.
here. Kill it in.
Omni Slash.
So low. Slash was down, that's annoying. But Norwegian now is on BKB. Looking to create some chaos and wreak some havoc here, but the right clicks are too much. No reflection means he's rooted and killed.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Yeah,
So-
this has got to be so annoying if you're EPG. They almost even lost the tier 3 as well. That tier 3 is super low. And any damage they did towards Brax is completely negated.
Yeah, the
We're
very least
gonna
they got
lose
tier 3,
Aegis.
so the shrines are opened up, and if, as I said, with the with Roshan also respawning with Aegis in hand, taking the shrines isn't all that important even.
If Queen of Pain had BOTs,
Roshan has
they could
fallen to the
potentially
Radiant.
even threaten a buyback from the TA. Actually, they might.
Is a great
Maybe?
No, there's another creeper. I found some Razor Illusions down here. 33 will take care of it, so
beast.
they'll get the tier 2, but I don't think EPG will buy back for that one.
Nah, not anymore.
The real question is, can 33, does he have enough damage to backdoor?
Not yet. His damage so far has been actually a bit like when he was hitting the tower was. I mean, it's like Nature's Prophet, but it's not like Nature's Prophet. His
Yeah,
item
some
build.
later, right? Yeah, he's itemized for hero right clicks, not tower right clicks. But now top lane. That tower's still very healthy, but they have a fresh crew wave here. And it's in fact 33 who's just waiting for an opportunity to finish up the bottom tier 1. So this was great in space. You can get the tower here too, that's great. And gonna start with a Sanking, back in Gala. He has Aegis and Cheese though, so maybe you want to look at Kaiser, but he's just been ignored.
Dyer's
Red
middle tower
commences.
is under attack.
This is gonna be rough for EPG to recover from. They, even though they did tier 3, don't think this is gonna be. And even, oh my god, they saw the TP out, so they know they can take these racks.
Oh, yeah, 33 was right on top of that. Epicenter is being channeled, but how much damage is that really going to do? Half damage to Garda as well as Milan, but why do they not have detection though? That's a bit silly. Now the dust comes out. Vacuum stolen here, 4 euros! Sky's with the Sonic Wave! So much damage being done on the Overgrowth too. Lotus Orbs to get rid of some of these roots, but the damage is already done. Vibeck forced out. Illidan, he's got in the middle of that, hexed up, Omni Slash down. And will transfer somewhere else. He's still alive, but now Milan extra damage here, trying to bring it down. Garda starts to drop low, so does Kaiser, but he's just fearful, blinks forward, heals himself up on the spells. And blinks outside of the ice path here. They brought down the Treant Protector. At what cost? 2 buybacks at released. Fight's not over yet though. Garda gets linked up still. That's the Aegis though, so even if you bring him down, you're gonna have to do it all over again. Illidan, for now, he's just content. Stealing the damage, gets surged forward. Garda with the spin. No TP at the ready to get himself out. On the back of that though, now the illusions almost bringing down a Sanking Kaiser, trying to finish him off too. Just needs to find an opening, needs to find him, period. Illidan still chasing down Garda. They'll probably trigger the Aegis here. And I don't even know what's happening anymore. Lounge sitting in the sides, Kaiser also waiting to try and get close. Garda finally drops. 33 dies, down ball a while ago. Can it take another fight here? Garda with the Aegis.
Kaiser has absolutely no mana.
That over as well.
If Kaiser had more mana, they would probably take this fight.
Oh god, this is Milan with the blink out.
That fight was absolutely nuts. The stolen vacuum was huge, and it could have been much worse for EPG. TA actually accidentally killed the courier in the middle of that because she hit it with a side blade. And the courier was about to deliver radiance towards Kaiser.
Oh no, this radiance.
Yeah, that's the radiance on the courier.
Oh no.
That could have been super bad for them.
Well, that's right now. Kaiser coming in, he's getting this arm, lifts himself up into the air. Millenberg starting to take a little bit of damage. Yep, the roof overgrowth comes through. Temple Assassin. BKB is out of it. And yeah, Kaiser just stands there and right clicks. Obviously, that reflected with the Lotus Orb. It's rather ineffective to say the least. That Lotus Orb comes up, beautiful vacuum into the ice path. J4 is indeed dead. Finally here, the Rex also fall. Kaiser with multiple a couple of heroes, but at this point, not all that effective anymore here. Gets the Shivas too with a blink in. They need some more damage follow-up, and Illidan stealing whatever damage Garda has to offer. Beautiful ice path steal here now. 4 stars from both sides. Burst strike coming through here. Illidan eats a chase. He's held on to forever by the looks of it, but now he'll still die to the spin eventually. Shakira also died a little bit early in that particular engagement. Neither of these heroes have buybacks. They used them. Now 33 with a TP forward, gets the hacks onto Darkseer. Add another one to the list of casualties here. He throws down a combo. But 33, yeah, but a TP out of that. Oh
and they
no.
get the gem.
Make a fine.
So that's
grimace.
4 heroes
happening?
dead, only one of which has buyback. This might just be GG.
This game might just be over, yeah?
EPG got baited into, like, EPG pushed high ground because Nature's Prophet was dead, and they wanted to either force a buyback or let him pay for it. They did neither, like, he did neither, because EPG got baited into a really long fight, which gave Nature's Prophet enough time to just respawn. And then they just lost the fight.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
No, yeah, ProDota, they realize that there's no buybacks here. They get the lift up onto Temple Assassin, into the ice path here. First strike not gonna create enough space, and around Lord Ninja, he will die to right clicks here as soon as he fucking charges out. So that's buyback on that hero. So they'll try again. Epicenter at the ready. Big first strike. I think from Milan he is looking to try and make his way back in. Kaiser. At this point, ProDota don't care. They just tunnel vision towards this ancient, and there's nothing that EPG can do against it. Well, it's actually doing a decent amount of damage here, but all Kaiser needs to do is throw on a couple of spells. Tee himself back up, another celebratory Omni Slash, and that's a BN pause right there.
Oh, wow.
I think it was an auto pause because he disconnected.
Yeah, he disconnected.
Yeah. GG's gone down. What a game, Skip. What a game.
What a game. That was impressive.
Yeah.
I think some viewers will probably look at this and be like, yo, 3-2-2 here, 3-2-2 there. But I think it's just very impressive from both teams to be able to come back from all of those setbacks. Especially if you had the advantage and you lose it because of some stupid fight that you take unnecessarily, right? I think that hurts your mentality, but to be able to come back from it time and time again, and both teams sort of did, right? Even if it was like a mini setback, like you said earlier, there wasn't even that big of an advantage for either team at any point of the game. And it was maybe like 4.5k was the biggest at some point, and then it just got back to 2k and then 1.5 again. So it just was a very exciting game, a lot of kills, a lot of action, but ultimately, I mean, if you look at the kill distribution on EPG as well, it was sort of the TA show. No
That's-
offense to Illidan, but I think the Razor didn't really accomplish too much in this game.
Well, he's 9-9 and 13. He's definitely had a rough game, but
Yeah.
there's only so much he can do up against these mobile heroes, right? I mean, he did go for those movement speed builds, like with the Asha, with the drums and whatnot, and the Butcher travel. But even then, like, you still have Blink. Skada is pretty fast on his feet as well. Like, yeah, it's very rough for him to try and actually get the damage in, I guess. Still did a decent amount, 36k, but it just didn't feel as... He even did more damage than Temple Assassin. I'm just seeing it in the scoreboard, but yeah, you're right. It didn't feel as impactful as Pura Ninja, who definitely played a very great game on the TA.
Yeah, and I mean, if they had more disabled, he definitely would have been able to burst on the Queen of Pain. But, and I think this is where we have to applaud Kaiser for his play, because he realized that they just simply don't have
Yeah.
enough lockdown to actually kill him or burst him down in time.
Yeah.
And that's why he was able to play half of this game without any defensive item outside of like a Yule Scepter.
Yeah.
And this was
He
just a
played
great game from him.
Yeah, great display of just knowing the boundaries of the heroes in this draft, right? He played very casual almost. You mentioned it earlier, right? Just going for a kill, all right, just farming here, farming there. On the other side of the map here, among like 3 or 4 enemy heroes, and he didn't really care. So I actually want to give him the anti-audio MVP of the game.
For sure. This Queen of Pain was awesome to watch. It was just a very. I mentioned it somewhere in between that it almost looked like cocky the way he played, and that's just. I think it's not even anything like a. It sounds like a negative attribute, but I think it's actually very fun to watch like a Queen of Pain, like Storm Spirit, Shadow Fiend, that can be very cocky in their play, because then you just know their craftsmanship is just immaculate, and I think Kaiser showed that his Queen of Pain is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, another word would be confident, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually have to open up the lobby.
But confident doesn't have that nice of a ring to it, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things I look toward is the laning stage. That is something that stood out to me at the very beginning of the game, where they constantly switched around. Like Illidan, after his lane didn't go so well, he rotated bottom, which I think is totally fine, right? But then it didn't go so well there again, and he switched again to the top lane, and that forced out of rotation from the dark sphere towards the jungle, and then towards the bottom lane again, and towards the jungle again, and so on and so forth. So I think looking towards trying to get a very stable laning stage is very important. I think the drafting was fine, even though I don't feel like the Razor didn't accomplish too much for me personally. I think that the draft was overall fine. I think they definitely could have won with this draft. But I think the laning stage, if they had a more solid laning stage, they would have had a much better mid game as well. So I think looking towards just making sure that the lanes are more stable, maybe secure a different hero that can definitely bully somebody out of the lane. I don't know, maybe like a Treant Protector. Oh wait, the enemy said that. Get Treant, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sounds good to me, yeah. Alright, I think we can take a short break until the teams are getting back into the lobby.
I mean, it was such a long game. I'm sure the teams need to, take a breather and figure out, all right, this is what we're going to do in the next game. I mean, 50-minute games. In this meta right now, a 50-minute game is incredibly long.
back. That didn't take very long.
Yeah, teams are ready, and we're about to start the game right now. If Dota would let me, there we go.
All right. So,
Dire team ban.
pick the Treant was our ending meme, but do you guys really think the Treant is enough to really help them? Because it seemed like they were just getting outmaneuvered throughout team fights and just getting picked outside their base.
Radiant team ban.
No, I think
Dire team
the
ban.
the Treant is more of a, I guess, analogy for just pick stable lanes. Just make sure that you just don't get bullied in a lane like you did in the last game. Their safe lane was atrocious. Their Razor and their Jakiro just got
10 seconds remaining.
just got dumped basically. And the bottom lane wasn't that
seconds
great either,
remaining.
even though it could have been. Right, so I think just picking heroes that
Radiant
do really
team
well in the
ban.
laning stage. Make sure that you pick heroes that don't get bullied like that. The Treant is one of the
Dire
best
team
heroes right
pick.
now for that because he doesn't really get bullied. He trades very favorably, so he would have been a perfect hero for that. But EPG just chose to ban it, which is also nice. But there are other heroes that fulfill that role as well. Night Stalker is one of the popular heroes lately that does a very similar job.
10
So
seconds
Ogre is a
remaining.
very old sort of like pick in that regard. He's very tanky. He also trades very
5
favorably. Just
seconds
make sure that you
remaining.
just don't get bullied like that in a lane, that you even win more than one lane. Did they even win a lane?
Reserve
Not
time.
really. They lost. I guess you could say they lost all 3 lanes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So just make sure you win at least one lane, or ideally, obviously, as many lanes as possible. So, I think this is where you want to start off because you don't want to draft a lineup that basically I guess we can lose all our lanes. No, you want to draft a lineup that ideally wins their lanes and then can move on from there on out. So just go for that. Otherwise, I think sure they did get picked off in the mid game on the map.
Radiant
I definitely
team
think that was an
pick.
issue, but I think they also did the same with ProDota. I think they also caught ProDota quite nicely. At least some of the heroes. They caught Milan, got her a few times. So I think EPG definitely did a good job when it came to that. Clockwork
10
is also one of those
seconds
heroes.
remaining.
Great 4-position player,
Yep.
4-position hero.
5
Great start,
seconds
absolutely.
remaining.
Not just because out of you can run him in 4 position quite effectively, but also because you have that flexibility
Radiant team
of also
pick.
being able to put him into the 3 position if the circumstances allow it. But it's like also one of these cases where it actually shines more as a 4 position because you can run people down, you can solo kill supports with just like
10
2
seconds
levels,
remaining.
and then late in the game you do what you do anyway, regardless of
Dire
whether
team pick.
your 4 position or a 3 position or the offlane. Once you get your levels, once you have your basic amount of items. So great start from EPG on that note. But Rubik and Queen of Pain make a reappearance here for ProDota
10
Gaming. So
seconds remaining.
well, never change running system once again.
5
Basically.
seconds remaining.
And it's also, I think I like picking Rubik early because it
Radiant team ban.
sort of changes the mentality when you draft against a Rubik. It's like, do I really want to give this to them? And if they do want to give it to them, they have to be really confident in that pick as well, right? And
Yeah.
then it's
Dire
even
team
better for you
ban.
because that's like any spell is really good for Rubik at this point. And he already has excellent spells. Hookshot is a great spell. Even Rocket Flare is an awesome spell to have. All
Yeah.
of Puck's spells are amazing to have. So Rubik is just a very solid sort
10
of like first
seconds
pick.
remaining.
There was a time when a lot of teams would first pick a Rubik just because it's a solid
5
foundation.
seconds remaining.
And I mean, I know that Milan has died a lot, but I think that Stolen
Reserve
Vacuum
time.
alone showed that
Oh yeah.
he's a very capable Rubik player.
Yeah, when him being caught out was less him being mispositioned,
Oh,
more
of
like
course, of
EPG
course.
being aggressive enough, and he was just the one tanking the gank, so to speak. And yeah, I mean he went down, but none of the cores did as much as a result of that too. So he did what he needed to do for sure, and now he has a chance to do it again. Next band's coming through. Is there anything that this actually really says about ProDota Gaming, but the rest of the drafts? Or do you just go
Radiant
and
team
ban heroes
ban.
that you don't like out from last game? Guess that's that's what EPG wants to do right now
Dire team
with the
I
ban.
Juggernaut
wonder.
ban.
This is the second time ProDota has banned Kunkka, but I can't really find anybody on EPG that plays Kunkka. I guess Boranija doesn't really have. I mean, the profile he's playing on has like 5 games on Dota
10
or something.
seconds
Like that's it.
remaining.
And I've never seen LeBron play it,
Radiant
so I'm
team pick.
curious. Is it the
Uh,
core
I-
Kunkka they're afraid of? Like,
I don't
does
think so.
Illidan play Kunkka on like one of his
No.
Smurfs or something? I don't know. It's weird to
I-
me because it's the second time they've done it.
I want to say I've seen LeBron play that hero before,
10 seconds remaining.
but I
Maybe.
can't be sure. At the same time, maybe it's just one of these. All right,
5
Kunkka.
seconds
It's kind of
remaining.
back in the meta now, right? We see a lot of pro teams pick it up as a 4 position,
Reserve time.
and you have a pretty good skill set for that, right? The axe into Torrent, absolutely amazing to have for a variety of different reasons, especially if you have highly mobile heroes like the Queen of Pain on your lineup. You don't want to be caught out by that. So maybe it's just ProDota having the tier on mind. Maybe they scrim with it themselves and just don't want to take the chance.
It is also an excellent counter towards the Queen
Dire
of Pain
team
with the
pick.
X marks
Yep.
spot. Like it completely negates the blink. I mean, blink on Quap has such an awkward cast animation that it always gives you enough time to cast X marks the spot on her. So
Yep.
in that sense, I understand that, and like the torrent and into
10
boat is like a
seconds remaining.
beautiful combo to lock down the Queen of Pain. So I sort of get that,
5 seconds
maybe
remaining.
Kaiser just doesn't like playing against Kunkka no matter what cost. So maybe it's one of those scenarios
Reserve
where
time.
that does happen. But I'm just
Radiant
a bit
team
curious
pick.
because even though I agree that Kunkka is sort of a meta pick right now, I just don't see it banning it unless there's like a specific player that excels at it.
Well, we have some very specific heroes now being picked up in the
10
second phase
seconds
already.
remaining.
Beastmaster and Winter Wyvern as a response.
5 seconds
Necrobooks
remaining.
did get buffed. They've been getting buffed for a while now, actually. So
Reserve
Beastmaster
time.
is sort of primed to be a pick again. I'm not sure if it's enough, but
Earth Spirit.
ProDota did display just now that they're very
Dire
much
team
capable
pick.
and willing to play the red game,
Yep.
even if it takes them 50 minutes. So Beastmaster is an excellent hero to have for red Dota, and he combos well with Queen of Pain. Even though that roar has a bit of a longer
10
cooldown, with
seconds
80
remaining.
seconds, it does give you that strong initiation that can
5
instantly
seconds
kill any
remaining.
core really. Maybe not a puck, but any other core really should be dead with roar and then Queen of Pain on top of
Reserve
it.
time.
Even the puck though, right? Especially if Beastmaster does go for the
Well,
Necrobug builds,
Yeah,
you should be able to solo kill puck.
yeah.
Now outside of like with the Wyvern helping out
I'm-
with the Golden
I'm
Brace.
just thinking that technically, if you have like if you see him coming as a puck, at least he can get away.
Oh yeah.
Most other
yeah,
cores could,
for
if
sure.
anything, only run away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely a good hero to pick up. I think he's also one of those offlaners that can really bully supports. I talked about earlier how you want to secure safe sort of like lanes and have like supports that can trade favorably. But Beastmaster is one of those offlaners that can trade very well, even against those other heroes. Like an Ogre Magi against Beastmaster it's not obvious who's going to win that,
Radiant
because sure
team
you have like a lot of HP region, but hey, it's against Boars who can slow you down.
Yeah.
Oh, double Boars, no, what do you do?
Yeah. If you have in that situation where you have to turn and run away, and you have
Yeah,
two
it's-
balls like packing
10
away at
seconds
you,
remaining.
it's not a good place to be.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. So EPG once again with the Sand King.
Reserve time.
It's interesting. That
It is.
might just be an offlane clockwork then, because they did play the Sun King as support before.
Yep.
I think it would be better to have Sun King offlane though. I don't
Just
think
trying to wrap my head
Team
around
back.
how the lineup will actually work together later. I mean, obviously it's like you have a bunch of great teamfight controlling spells and some good magical damage between like Puck and Sand King especially. But you don't have like this
10
big
seconds
burst
remaining.
combination with the clockwork. Don't have
5
like
seconds
the big
remaining.
right clicker just yet to just really mop up fights even as the game goes later.
Reserve time.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I don't know. I feel like EPG's lineup is very narrowly defined in terms of how they can or how they need to take team fights right now.
10 seconds
But I think this is also why ProDota banned Terrorblade. I think
Dire
that
team pick.
EPG, if they picked up like some sort of like really hardcore carry, they would just play like some sort of 4 protect 5 for Protect 1, sorry. Where they have the Winter Wyvern, which is like a very good defensive carry. Like he can,
10
his
seconds
ultimate is
remaining.
obvious, or her ultimate. Sorry, wait, is it a her? It's a her.
So
Isn't
I
it?
think yeah.
5
Her
seconds
ultimate is
remaining.
really strong for that. I don't know if they just picked up some really hardcore
Reserve time.
single core carry, like the
5
Terrorblade,
seconds
maybe even
remaining.
not Medusa here. Gyrocopter
Gyrocopter?
sort of
Radiant
works,
team pick.
and it does help with the AOE, but then now it's more of a we'll try to force fights sort of scenario.
I've
He doesn't
yet to
hit
be
towers
convinced.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've yet to be convinced by the Gyrocopter as a hero
10
because
seconds remaining.
he's been out of it for so long. Because he's like,
5 seconds
sure, there's a bit of
remaining.
magic damage, but you have to go up close and personal with the rocket barrage to really make use of it on an
Reserve
isolated
time.
target. And the problem with that is just squishy as hell.
Gyrocopter is also really trashy against Beastmaster in lane.
Yeah.
Beastmaster Earth Spirit will completely destroy that off lane, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They just need the Boar slow, Earth Spirit will roll onto anybody, and then you're dead. Like the Boars can really easily tank the Rocket Barrage as well.
Yeah.
It's I'm not too sure about this pick either. I think if they had picked up a hot carry, maybe even a Spectra, I think that would have worked fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the Gyrocopter either. ProDota, they need a carry now as well. They could go for a Spectre, actually.
Yeah. Wouldn't hate that. I mean, you have the Beastmaster, you have the Queen of Pain, like later in the game, kind of roaming around, looking for pickoffs. You have the Hawks even, just making sure that
I think they might go for
initiate it to
something
safe places.
that replaces the Juggernaut. Yeah.
Alright, I like
was
that too.
thinking of something like this. Something that can utilize the Beastmaster aura better. And also fits the aggression better. I would have liked a more hardcore hot carry, but I think something like the Lysander is better.
Yeah. There are a lot of ways to make the lifesteal work, right? You have the classic Queen of Pain delivery method. You have the Earthbird, of course, who you can roll in on, and I'm really looking forward to some potential
Hawk.
aerial delivery.
Yes.
So like carpet bombing or something into a Beastmaster Hawk, just delivering lifesteal across the map. Maybe some Boots of Travels on Beastmaster, potentially Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I
That'd be
remember
hilarious.
back in the day, Hani used to draft
10
Beastmaster
seconds
for
remaining.
Fnatic,
Yeah.
and they just like first item Boots of Travel on some course just to have that global presence. It's just
Also-
really strong.
Yeah, I also remember Liquid doing that once. Back when Quaiko was still on the team, he was playing Tinker, I believe.
Yeah.
They also had the Beastmaster and Lifestealer, so Beastmaster with Boots of Travel, Tinker obviously did as well. Lifestealer infested to one of them, and next thing you know, Hawks got someone out, 3 people just to appear out of nowhere. So, those hilarious to watch. Don't know if we get quite that crazy today.
Well, we'll see. We'll hope so. I mean, the first game was crazy in terms of action, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I think both of us favor ProDota's lineup going into this. Like, clearly favor it.
Absolutely, yeah. The Gyrocopter is just way too volatile of a pick for me these days. I can definitely see them kind of just running into ProDota, like when ProDota is maybe not quite ready, so they just die one by one to all these low cooldown magical nukes. But I don't think ProDota is the kind of team that does it more than once, if at all. Especially
See, I
just
guess.
yeah.
So they
Especially
did go.
with the magic community up against all of this, it's like ugh.
They did go for the offlane clockwork. I don't think this is necessarily that good. The benefits of having it offlane in this scenario in this game is that you get the hookshot earlier, which is strong against the Queen of Pain. Battery Assault is actually also very strong against Queen of Pain. If you catch her with max Battery Assault, she is most likely dead.
30 seconds to battle.
It's strong against catching, I guess, the Lifestealer as well. Again, like, you want the early hookshot, I guess that's one of the benefits. You want the early Force Staff against the Lifestealer as well, that's also one of the benefits.
Yep.
But I think the Sand King core with the early Blink and Force would have been, for me personally, would have been better. And the Clockwork, I think, is a much bigger nuisance as a 4-position roamer
The battle
rather
begins.
than the Sun King would be.
Master.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll do some sort of dual lane with the Clockwork and Sun King, where they'll probably share just as much experience anyway.
Right now he's just sitting aside, ready with the boots. So they can catch somebody out. Maybe not Garda, because of course you can always just go into the rage and withstand most of it. You also still want the power cogs. Only used it once. Now use it a second time. Secure this first lane of experience.
Ooh, we didn't even talk about this, but Puck Quap, the most classic of mid matchups that we could think of, probably.
It is,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess if you exclude SF. But as I say, as I talk about the mid matchup, of course, Milan
It's
shows
never
us
1v1.
that yeah, Dota's mid lane has never been 1v1 for like the last 5 years or so.
Actually, last series and last game, more or less saw 1v1s.
True, yeah,
But that's
actually a
super
good
rare,
point.
actually. Yeah. But it's much rarer when you know that there's an Earth Spirit on the field.
Clockwork bottom lane, super low already.
Oh wow.
Well, that's the power of, well, just lifestealer really, this early on. This is without open wounds. He's just hitting him.
Yeah. It's like the one reason why we see most teams just say, alright, let's not deal with this lifesteal lane at all. And just put people straight into the jungle, but that's the one weakness of Clockwork as a laner, or as a hero in the offlane. You can't really do that. You just have to try and sit there and survive and get your experience regardless. You cannot fall
Right.
back into the jungle easily.
This mid matchup is absolutely insane. Look, I mean, 11 and 4 to 5 and 1. This Queen of Pain, obviously because of the help of the Earth Spirit, is absolutely destroying this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, Boranisha, he's dodging all of these roll-ins, but it doesn't even matter because he has to play so much more defensively regardless.
Yeah, and the last wave, it was a big wave. It wasn't even a double wave, but Boranija was forced to take it under the tower, and he missed so many last hits because of that. I mean, obviously, because lasting under the tower this early on with only one null talisman is horrendous. Especially because Kaiser's doing such a good job at always denying his
Bottom
last
lane, J4, okay. She dives to Berry Soul despite the creep sitting around there. Mitch actually got both of them inside the cogs. Garda has to be a bit careful now.
Well, this is the power of Caustic Finale.
Yeah.
Actually, Garter,
Does about to roll through. Will actually connect onto Mitch here. Milan can chase a little bit. He even has a haste rune. So we'll probably even get that kill if he wants to commit here. Fair fire and tries to juke and jive. Now with the stun, Earthbird actually dies instead of Mitch.
and J4
Oh,
takes 3 tower hits as well. Oh, the all shed heart. The all shed heart.
Does it count as BM? Or is this just like
If it's a
friendly
heart,
because
yeah,
it's a heart?
I think you still call it BM.
Yeah.
That has to be so frustrating. That was
Fairy
a clutch
fire
fairy
again.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Mid lane again. Okay, they're jumping right onto Boranisha. Nice little jaunt though. Barely keeping him alive. Otherwise, the right click would have been enough to finish him off. Definitely a very
Oh.
explosive matchup.
Boranisha had to walk back. Was about to salve up anyway, so now we might as well
Dire's
just
middle
walk back to
tower
base.
is under attack.
It's an awful lane for him in terms of CS, especially. I mean, and the money he did get, he had to invest into like, you know, salve, raindrop, and now another no talisman. He's so far away from a bottle.
Look at his tanking though. He got both of these kills and he went for face boots.
That's great.
can't
I
say-
love this. No, I love this. For roaming tanking, this is amazing, I think.
I don't think I've seen this before. I see like the Arcane Boots still, or the Soul Ring Tranquils.
This is
Roll
Ooh,
will be
nice.
blocked. Stun's still available. There it is. Boranisha with a bit of follow-up. Yeah, easy kill. J4 is there, out of mana and out of health points.
This is great for both the roaming Sun King as well as for Sun King in the dual lane scenario that he was in and could probably go back for. He can just bully everybody with these phase boots. I do agree that, you know, Arcane Boots probably would make more sense. It helps pretty much his entire team because nobody else would really build Arcane Boots, I guess.
Dire's
I
bottom
mean,
tower is
Winter
under
Wyvern, I
attack.
guess. But still, it's uncommon, and you probably wouldn't do this every game, but I think it's very great. It just gives him the extra movement speed to catch up and just walk up and hit people.
Yep.
Or stun them.
Stuns comes out, but it's on level 1. So Kaiser always has the blink available to get back out of trouble. As long as he's sitting at full health, so, but yeah. It's making things work.
I think Buranija just gave up on the concept of ever owning a bottle. Oh no, he had it in his, he had it on the career already. Alright. Because I just saw his quick by change towards magic signals, like, alright, I guess he doesn't want a bottle anymore.
Silly
See,
skim. He already had the bottle.
Yeah.
Another roll in. This time the silence though coming through, so he can't dodge it. He did dodge the Shadow Dagger though, or the Shadow Strike.
And that's a
would be the
wasted
end of that.
rotation. See, this is one of the reasons why Earthspirit fell out of favor a lot of times. Or, you know, has fallen out of favor here and there, meta-wise, just because if you don't succeed at your rotations, this hero can fall behind by quite a bit. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, so silly.
I mean,
This is
who
exactly
tries-
what we're talking about in draft
Yeah.
as well. Like, alright, double balls. He was just sitting there right-clicking them for a little bit. And then he realized, oh, I can actually win this fight. Then he tried to burst strike out, but it was too late with the early points into the axis too.
But yeah, the point I was trying to make is that Earthspirit as a hero doesn't farm like jungle at all, and tends to need a successful kill. Speaking of which, none happened in it.
Yep.
So yeah,
First
Earthspirit
one as well.
should probably just fall back and maybe just pull and stack for the lifestealer, or look for a kill with the Rubik. I mean, they've tried already, they failed, but maybe towards the top lane. If they rotated top, I'm sure they could maybe look for a kill with the Beastmaster.
Yeah.
He is level 7 already. If he just, you know, regions up and comes back with his ultimate available, I'm sure they could find a kill. Instead, no, they just try mid again. Sure, why not?
At some point, you gotta question if it's worth it to try and keep Borunisha down. I mean, he's not even doing that so well. I mean, that 400 network differential can easily be explained by just Kaiser being a boss, as usual.
Yeah, and I mean, look at what it's doing to this Earthspirit. He doesn't even have boots yet.
Yeah.
Thought you had
That's just a
that,
lot of time
didn't
wasted.
you?
Whereas if you compare him to the other 4, the Sand King, who is an entire level ahead, and has face boots.
Yep. And now some extra wards to plant down as he wraps around towards the middle lane, perhaps towards jungle.
I think I want to go for
the
the Rubik, honestly. I think that would be
I'll
an
take
easy
your
kill to get.
tribute.
But it looks like they're indecisive. Looks like Sand King just wants to plant a ward, a deep ward.
Yeah.
I like this.
Also very unlikely to be scouted out. And he also saw the courier, so he knows that somebody's in this general area.
Radiant's top
Now
tower
he's
is
just
under
looking to
attack.
fight against Milan. If he goes for a roll, I think, yeah. Sand King will always be able to get close unless he pushes them back first, so... he'll be able to barely get out.
So close. So close.
I was holding my breath there for a second,
Yep.
to be quite honest. Yeah.
I want to point out that Earthspirit still does not have boots.
It's about
Cogs
extra
are ready
TP.
soon. Actually, they were ready already.
He actually lifted him right back on top of Lifestealer, but he doesn't care. He doesn't have the rage though, so he just dies. Question mark. A little the good rotation though. Maybe they weren't expecting that at all. Now, right clicks, a bit of damage from the max level rocket barrage. Kaiser made the rotation here, but it doesn't have detection for the Sand King, and don't think he can really just jump in blind on top of Illidan.
What a play, by the way. Sand King immediately getting the aggro from the tower so that the Clockwork wouldn't get hit by the tower anymore. And then also salving and using Sandstorm so he could just heal through.
Yeah.
Yeah, just overall good rotation from Illidan. And I guess this is something that, I mean, I didn't really consider during the draft when, you know, when we talked about the Gyrocopter. It is one of Illidan's heroes.
Yeah.
So maybe
It's
he
also-
just feels comfortable on the hero and is like, yo, just give me the gyrocopter and I'll manage.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with trying it out again, especially if you haven't seen the hero in a while. I mean, who knows? Maybe the meta has developed to a point.
Dire's top
But it's
tower
actually
is under
viable,
attack.
and you just need to find the right situation, like to throw it in. And it's definitely one of these heroes that can farm very effectively.
Dire's top tower
Can
is under attack.
scale pretty decently into late game with this kind of spread damage carry. And also a hero that can rotate out rather early out of the one position and help the rest of his team make stuff happen. And as such create more space
Dire's
here for
top tower
potentially
is under
supports
attack.
to get their own levels. But now they're here to try and defend up against these Mars. Plenty of heroes around him, and you know he does have a roar. I don't think he can survive this without it.
Good rotation from EPG. I like that they're investing all these heroes into these kills. I mean, Illidan again rotated. I mean, we literally just talked about him rotating bottom and killing somebody, and now he's rotated top again. And they rotated Boar Ninja as well. I like this. They need to make more out of these lanes. They didn't necessarily lose their lanes, right? I mean, I think they do pretty well. The safe lane anyway. I mean, if you look at Illidan's net worth, he's definitely kept up, and he's actually done much better
Radiant's
than a
top
lifestealer.
tower is under attack.
But yeah, they just need to make sure that they have a lot of damage, right? That's what they drafted. They drafted these magic, damage-heavy ultimates or abilities. So just use them to your advantage and find as many kills as you can before they pick up their magic resistance items or even talents.
Yep. Or skills.
Or skills in case
And,
of Rubik.
yeah. Good old-fashioned Rubik. Also something that we haven't really pointed out particularly yet is J4 actually playing the Ruby this time around, not Milan, because of course he's the Osprey player in this
Of
lineup.
course.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But
So
look at
Dire's top
ProDota
tower
supports
has fallen.
in comparison to EPG supports. EPG supports it's level 7, and then ProDota supports level 5.
Yeah.
That is because they've been sort of indecisive as to what to do. They've not been really committed to either things, whereas EPG has been very focused on their lanes. They didn't really roam too much. I guess the Sun King roamed a little bit after he got his face boots, but he still always made sure to come back and sort of get his farm.
What have we here?
And experience and lane share. Whereas the Earth Spirit, I guess he just always thought, alright, we have to kill this puck, right? Let's just follow the puck.
He
And
bashed his
then-
hand against the wall in that regard.
Yeah.
He's gonna go again. Yeah, this time it's a Winter Wyvern Masterpiece coming through. Not allowed is in a bit of trouble, isn't he? He's being slowed down by the Arctic Breath. And Borodija comes close with the coil.
I'm not sure he needed the coil.
I don't think he would have caught up otherwise.
Rise in my presence.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, it's official. Milan can kill dragons. You should just stop trying at this point, I guess. Nah, it's just very unfortunate. And he did hit level 6 now. He tried to go into the Wyvern. I'm not sure if it was the best decision to dive to tier 1 for that. But now that he is
They
level
did force
6,
out 2 rotations, so I guess that was the point where it said, alright, Kaiser, maybe not go in, we do something else instead. Because if he blinked in, they would have easily gotten a kill, but well, might have not gotten out in that crucial core.
for all we know, it was even Kaiser that called the rotation. Was like, "Yo, there's a Wyvern here. I'm pretty sure if we just find like the initial roll on him, we can kill him."
Yeah.
And they probably would have if the first roll had hit. I'm pretty sure Kaiser just blinks after him and be like, "Yo, let's kill him."
Yep. Well, it wasn't to be.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's talk about the Beastmaster a little bit more, because 33 hasn't really left this lane all that much. He's died once, he's still been able to muscle down a tower just with EPG rotating elsewhere, but we haven't seen him use a roar yet.
It's funny because I think the way he's...
Oh, he gets off.
Speaking of which...
Well, 2 people in now with the hookshot also coming through. Does have the Necrobook if he wants to throw it out and try and do some more damage, but he realizes it would have just fed gold at this point.
I think the way he's been playing in this Beastmaster is very similar to how he's played the Nature's Prophet. As Nature's Prophet, he's tried to be very sort of like quiet, not to draw too much attention to himself, and was very successful. They almost never killed him on the Prophet outside of the after the laning stage, right? He had what, a total of 6 deaths or something. That's like almost nothing for a Nature's Prophet in a 15-minute game. So I think like this quiet sort of like playstyle suits him very much, and he TP's back to that very same lane. I think that's fine, honestly. It just creates a lot of space for his teammates if he keeps split pushing like this. And he
Especially if
can,
he keeps drawing 4 people rotations to bring
yeah,
it down.
exactly. And he can kill people by himself as well. And like you said, they needed. I would almost argue that they needed at least 2 to 3 heroes to kill him in the first place.
Well then, Parks
That's
actually
a
control.
Dragon.
This changes.
Well,
nothing.
Milan took some lessons now. He went up to the top lane and said, hey, 3-3, how do I kill a fairy dragon? And he's like, yeah, you just look at him, you right-click him with your Necro Book, and then he doesn't have mana anymore. And he also only used the short range jump out, cloak shot down bottom though. J4 pushed back into the rocket barrage. Haven't happened. But yeah, power of the Necro Book. If you
By the
don't
way,
have the immediate response, you just lose all your mana.
What I talked about at the beginning of the laning stage, you know how I talked about the Sand King and the clockwork? They did pretty much what I hoped they would do. It's like sort of pseudo 3-4 position for both of them. Like both of them basically shared the same amount of experience and gold pretty much. It was no clear distinction. All right, you're the offlaner, I'm the 4 position. They're very similar in net worth, very similar in experience, and I like this decision. This pretty much brings out the best of both of these heroes, and you could tell by the way they've been moving around the map that they feel more comfortable with this draft. Honestly. I honestly wonder what they've been talking about after game 1, because I think you have to feel frustrated after game 1, because in game 1 I'm pretty sure they tasted victory to some degree at some point. They were the first ones to push high ground in the last game.
So playing in onto the park to get the roar to follow.
Before my time.
Well, that's not going great for them, I guess. Puck
Yeah,
hasn't had a great
you
game.
gotta be careful not to, I don't want to say tilt on the back of that, but like you have to be careful not to slip back into this where you just give up a kill here, give up another kill there, and another kill in the middle lane here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Without even ultimate committed, it was just a straight up infest bomb, I suppose, first one
Yeah,
of the
it was an
game.
infest bomb.
Oh, of course it
Infest
is,
bomb.
because
And a DD.
I'm a great observer.
DD.
Yeah. Gonna muscle down tower on the back of that
Dire's
too.
middle tower has
It's
fallen.
I want to say fine for now because Illidan is still doing well, still doing great,
Radiant's
but
bottom
they need to be
tower is
careful.
under attack.
Oh my god.
Last TV's bottom here. Sanking is
Dire's
dead. No,
top
I
tower
don't know if
is
they
under
realize.
attack.
Yeah, they do. Get the
Queen
silence
of Pain
off.
cancelled the TP.
Yeah, they realize it's only Sanking that they're gonna get, so necessarily need Kaiser for that one. So he continues to push out mid. Meanwhile, up top, mass rotation once again towards 33, but hookshot not enough at this point. Might have hit it on a creep. One of the
Dire's
summons.
middle tower is
I'm
under
a bit
attack.
surprised that they just don't try to kill 3-3 much more, because we pointed out that he's literally just spent his entire time in this top lane.
And it's off.
I guess, and he goes like back and forth between this jungle where he is in right now, and then the Dire jungle, goes to the lane, and like, he's never left. Like, if there was a heat map
Dire's
available
bottom
to
tower
us right
is
now,
under
I'm pretty
attack.
sure we'd only see him move on those 3 places.
I
So
think
I wonder-
ProDota has that, but don't think it's live. Unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if why they. I mean, they have 2 excellent heroes, 3 excellent heroes to catch him out. Yeah, to catch him off guard. So I wonder why they just don't do that. And instead, it is ProDota that, go for the smoking right now. I think this is something that EPG should have done for the Beastmaster, just time and time again. I mean, punish the fact that he's literally stayed in one place for the entire game.
Silence.
Well, so far they've kind of had the focus elsewhere, trying to secure Illidan's farm, keep the stacks up and running, trying to put on pressure on the towers, but that even hasn't really worked out that much. All tier 1 still very much standing for ProDota. And, well, now this is slow but very massive rotation towards the bottom line.
Yeah, they want to take this tier 1
Radiant's
bottom.
bottom
That's why
tower
the
is
that's why
under
the Sand
attack.
King died here last time as well. They wanted to secure this tower. They're gonna get it now, but
Radiant's bottom
I think this
tower
is the
has
wrong
fallen.
focus, because if you're ProDota, you don't even care about this tower at all. Look at the way they're positioned. They just want a tier 2. They want control over the enemy jungle. They have a very deep ward already. So I don't know. It feels like EPG is a step behind right now.
Radiant's
A very
bottom
significant
tower
step
is
behind
under
at
attack.
that.
Dire's top
This T2
tower
already
is
down
under
to half
attack.
health from the previous push, so they'll be able to tear through this extremely quickly.
Dire's top
And EPG,
tower
yeah, they
has
have to
fallen.
realize that they just don't have the pushing power to compete with that. So now, instead they're wrapping around towards the tier
Radiant's
1
bottom tower
in mid,
is under
threatening
attack.
that, but they have to respond to this top push.
Yep.
If nothing's stopping them, ProDota can easily
Dire's
shoot through this
top
tier 3
tower
without
no,
Beastmaster or
Illidan.
not.
TP by himself to the
Radiant's middle
shrine,
tower
and they
is
saw it
under
as well.
attack.
They pinged it out. Oof, that could have been nasty.
Well, fortunately he dodges that one, so yeah.
They now lost control over their own jungle. And this is like what, 20 minutes in? EPG,
Yep.
they need at least defensive wards in their own jungle, which they currently don't have. So I would suggest they just need to find like a smoke gank into their own jungle and secure good deep ward. Because what Illidan is doing here is actually incredibly risky. Just trying to casually farm the ancients.
Was spotted out, but there's one other observable ward from the Radiant side. Yeah, with all this vision, it's also rather easy to figure out where the rest of EPG is, even if they don't show them all themselves all on the map. But looks like they want to fight middle.
Yep.
I heard an infest. The tower goes down.
They're like drawing on the map. They're like, "Yo, can you wrap around Beastmaster?" He's like, "Dude, I have a designed route that I can walk. You know, this is my heat map. I can't walk there."
Floor is
they're
lava
definitely
beyond my heat map. Still
They're
got a
definitely
tier 3
looking
the
for a
Rax to
carrier.
take in this lane, dude. I'm not leaving.
I wonder why they just don't pick a Brute Mother.
I know, right?
I guess it's too obvious then.
Been so long
Yeah,
since I've seen a Brute Mother.
EPG's a bit scared. Looks like they don't really have vision on ProDota right now, so they don't really know what they're doing. They should get vision on the Queen of Pain now. I'm not sure that was in range actually.
I don't think so.
I wonder why EPG just doesn't go for a smoke themselves. I don't know what they're waiting for. They have what, double blink? They have hookshot and force staff. Maybe they're waiting on the BKB for the gyrocopter, who by the way
Still
went
ways out,
Agams
though.
first.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Okay. Just get this going. I was gonna bring that up because some of the like top tier analysts, I can't quite remember who, was arguing about this kind of being the core item. It's kind of a
Purge,
constant
maybe?
double damage rune, possibly.
Dire's
Yeah.
bottom tower
So they're making the case for this being. Oh god, the smoke will break on the invisible lab.
Rune.
They don't have detection with them to catch them out.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They
I
won't
guess
catch
that
them. So,
smoke was sort of nice. Like, it was an attempt, right? I think the intention behind the
Yeah.
smoke was nice and good, but they should have done this much earlier when they didn't lose the Sand King. Like, when they had the Sand King with the Sand King.
Yeah. Speaking of it, there's up top Shadow Blade being used. And
And
yeah,
you know why?
it's just a quick kill.
You know why this kill just happened? Because they didn't know he had a Shadow Blade. Do you know why they didn't know he had a Shadow Blade? Because they don't have a single ward in their own jungle. Like, 3-3 is not even being subtle at this point. He's literally just walking inside the Dire jungle, then towards the top lane. Oh no,
Yeah,
he's going somewhere where I've never seen him before. Oh, the Roche
Roche Pit, wow! But yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little bit harder to actually keep the vision up now with the deck with 3 and the Hawks and whatnot.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely not easy to maintain vision, but it's not even, they haven't even tried, right? I think, I mean, it's difficult. You don't want to, as a solo support, you don't just want to walk uphill into the jungle by yourself and try and plant a ward. You definitely want to go there with somebody else.
He means business. He just picked up the Aegis, so he doesn't really care. Milan coming in to try and help. And they're looking for the Winter White first. So we're trying to back here to try and keep J4 at bay. Ultimate comes out, Illidan's still fighting here. They trigger the Aegis, and LeBron's not even dead yet. He finally falls now to the takeout. But EPG were able to claim 2 more heroes. Skada finally comes in, ultimate, pretty good here. Illidan dies, and now stacking next one on the list. He needs some detection, needs some sort of control though. To bring him down, burst strike in. Kaiser actually starting to drop fairly low. He has to get himself out of here. And he will barely be able to, despite the battery still coming through. So 2 for 3 trade here, including the Aegis. And Gada, well, he's not done yet. He's gonna get the kill together with Kaiser, but now he actually was good for that. Perhaps unnecessarily, so that's an exposure. Still gets Yules into a blink out. So
Radiant's
3 for
bottom
3,
tower is
and
under
they got the
attack.
Aegis.
And they're gonna get Milan.
And they're gonna get Milan
too,
too.
I guess.
Yeah. That's not the cleanest team fight that ProDota has ever taken. That's for damn sure.
I wonder if EPG now realize how strong this lineup of theirs actually is. Like they could have taken fights like this much earlier. And the fight they started out on pretty bad terms actually, because it was Kaiser that initiated the fight and almost immediately and together with Milan almost immediately destroyed the Winter Wyvern. So they didn't have the Wyvern for the fight, right?
He was like they didn't even destroy him because it took them quite a long time to bring him down. He still couldn't do anything because he was silenced
Right.
the entire time. But yeah, it's
And the defensive
kind
spell
of-
he had to use it himself, right?
Yeah.
He was separated from his team. So this was not an ideal fight for EPG at all, but they still won it. And that's just because their lineup is really strong in terms of, you know, what the heroes can do just with their spells and their abilities. So I wonder why they just don't look for fights earlier. They have the initiation. They're not reliant on big cooldowns like ProDota is. If you want to argue that, ProDota is definitely reliant on, you know, things as Roar and Fest, even the Sonic Wave. So I think EPG just should, you know what, just smoke up now and just look for a fight. But as I say that, obviously they're not going to do it because why would they listen to me?
well, they literally can't right now. So
Oh, yeah, they
that's
can't.
one of the reasons.
What have we here?
Let's actually get back to the strike of the axe because we were rudely interrupted by some teamfight action earlier.
How dare they?
I know, right? But yeah, I've heard people make the case that it's actually a really good item and it's excellent in farming all that much, and I can definitely see it. I mean, he's cleaning through his jungle camps without expending too much mana even.
Yeah, you could look at it as some sort of, I guess, battle theory investment, sort of.
Yeah.
You know, it just helps him flush farm. You're not necessarily relying. I mean, he flash farms himself already with flat cannon, so I guess it's not the best comparison. But you don't really, you don't always
J4,
have,
don't do it.
have it. It's a trap, but they know J4 is visible now.
I think he realizes that he's not moved, but
Kaiser
maybe
came
not.
out though.
Under attack.
Creating space here, gets pushed back by the Cogs. Now pops the BKB, throws out of spells, but right clicks too much. Now the roll in into the Sonic Wave. Got a part of the party here, trying to chop down Illidan. And with the help of Kaiser, also going away despite the BKB. They'll burst through it here. They also get the use onto Mitch.
Set in stone.
That reminds me of last game here, where they're just like, alright, we really want to take this fight, and yeah, because we have everyone here all of a sudden, and we get our nukes on target before the fight's already over.
Yep, that's just what happens if you let ProDota farm for what, 27 minutes?
I think the PKB was the difference maker there from Kaiser. Actually,
Yeah,
if he
for
didn't
sure.
have that, he would have.
They actually had like a really good way of killing him if it, you know, if the BKB hadn't been there. Like the rocket would have connected for sure. Level 4 rocket is like what? Yeah, 3 seconds stun. That's definitely enough time to kill him. It's very unfortunate that they also immediately killed a puck. If it hadn't been for that, I think the puck also would have been very devastating in the fight because they did get really low after the cooldown as well. Cooldown as well. So I don't know. I hope that EPG doesn't get discouraged just from this one engagement because this was once again not a fight on their own terms, but rather on the terms of ProDota. And I hope that they realize that, you know, if they just go for something like a smoke gang and maybe initiate by themselves this time around instead of counter-initiating, they could potentially come out on top.
Well, so far, don't see any smokes here on the side of EPG. They are kind of moving as 5 though. Not really.
Well, they're always, the supports are sort of always moving in somewhat close vicinity to Illidan. They're like, yo, if something happens to you, I guess we'll be there.
Yeah.
Which is important because he doesn't really have an escape mechanism, and
Radiant's
you
bottom
want to
tower
make sure he
is
doesn't
under
die
attack.
because he's your only carry really. They invested into this sort of like dual 4-position, 3-position Clockwork Descent King, right? So
Yep.
they don't really have a third
Radiant
core really,
structures are
an
fortified.
actual carry. So they definitely
Radiant's bottom
this
tower
Illidan to be
is under
fat.
attack. Dire's middle tower is under
Well,
attack.
I'll try T2 towers right now. But looks good. T2 bottom already went down. 4 heroes inside of ProDota, finishing the one in mid, and once again we're in this awkward
Dire's
position
middle
where
tower has
EPG
fallen.
have to realize, alright,
Radiant's bottom
there's actually a
tower
beast
is under
bust also
attack.
somewhere on the field who's pushing down one of these lanes, and if he gets to the high ground, we can say goodbye to our buildings.
See,
So-
Dragon Drop. If you had to
Radiant's
guess
bottom
where on the
tower
map this
is under
Beastmaster would
attack.
be, where would you say he was?
I don't know. I want to say it's the lane that's on the top, where he started out.
And that's sort of look.
It's
I make
a
it
bit like this area, I think.
I make it sound like this is so easy to do. Oh, you're just gonna gank the Beastmaster and it's like easy dead. No, it's not easy. But they've never even attempted it. Well, no, they did it once. They did it once, like what, 7 minutes into the game, and they successfully killed him. That was amazing. But I wonder why they had never attempted it since.
Illusion.
I think they tried once, but with a hook shot that landed on one of the hawks, I believe. Now, why? Oh, let's just farm some AFK boars. No, that's not how it works.
That's really not how it works. EPG is right behind him, though. Maybe? No, he shouldn't fight, guys. The Sand King is literally just died. But yeah, it's. I mean, even if they tried that one time, then it's, in my opinion, not enough. I feel like the Beastmaster
Dire's
has
bottom
never
tower
really.
has fallen.
I mean, now he's shown himself on the lore. I'm pretty sure this is literally the first time he's moved outside of the top half of the map. So in that sense, I don't know why they've never tried it.
I like this rocket style though. Looks pretty cool. Okay, what rocket is that? I wanna find out. Holding missile of the airborne assault craft. Sorry, I got sidetracked, but yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
By cosmetics.
There's like a certain website that after the game it actually lists all the cosmetics used in the game.
Alright. Also from J4 here, counters out the cogs. Silence. She was stolen. Now the coil. J4 will still die here. Left his own devices once again by ProDota. Same hero, different player.
Oh, Sand King top.
Rubik still dies.
Necro's off. Necrobox off cooldown now. And, oh,
I get some out.
Where's my pension?
Worthy
Smile.
trip.
Earth
back,
Spirit
yeah.
is infested. Or Life Solar infested the Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
They might. Nah, they wouldn't
I
dare.
don't think
Mid lane?
they can't kill. They can't kill anyone. Either one of them. I think. Drycopter's BKB,
Yeah.
2k health points.
Go for the
Puck is
go for the
puck.
dragon here. No. Nah, it's good. I think this is good from ProDota. They shouldn't get too overly confident. That would be unnecessary. Even if it had been a kill on the Winter Wyvern, I mean, what's a kill on the Winter Wyvern really? Puck's
Radiant's
Invis,
middle
though,
tower
but
is
he
under
walks
attack.
into Necrobox.
Whoops. Gotta get out. And yeah, I think this is ProDota just waiting for an opportunity to win a fight on the dire side of the map,
Yeah.
and then just push down one lane. Because
They-
that's all they really need to get a set of racks with this kind of pushing power that they have, just because you have the Beastmaster on the team.
I think ProDota also recognizes the strength of EPG's lineup. I mean, I think if ProDota is smart, and I mean, I assume that they are smart, they would have noticed that, you know, hey, EPG actually deals a lot of damage in these fights, even though we're what, like 15k net worth advantage. So let's try and play this cool and a bit slow. Their lineup doesn't peak or doesn't do too well in the really late game, but I'd say in the next 10 minutes they're still very strong. I mean, there's like an Abyssal Blade that the Lashila can still buy. He can replace the Midas. So there's a lot of room to grow still.
Dire's bottom tower.
So
is
I think
under
they can
attack.
sort of take it slow, just take, you know, take these towers one by one, and then if you find one
Dire's
pick off,
bottom
just go
tower
immediately high
has
ground.
fallen.
Or maybe wait for Roshan. Or not wait for Roshan, but take Roshan and then go high ground.
There's really not much else to say here about the plans of both teams.
I'll take your tribute.
More
Look at
time, EPG is just not doing anything. It's more time for ProDota to keep farming and keep waiting for these opportunities.
Look at J-Force quick buy. That's the life of a 5-position support, my friends.
Hey, he has a 4-star. He's got money in this
Sure, he's
game.
actually not. He's not actually.
Oh wow, they.
bad.
Oh, the hook shot!
Hook shot.
Just before the TP concluded, so 33. Well, that's just being a recharge down and trying to fight a little bit because he has no other choice. But that's a good catch.
Good kill, and it could give them Roshan. Yeah, they have a medallion on Wyvern as well. And as I say that, they don't go for Rosh. I guess it is a smart decision not to go for Roshan because they have the lanes pushed in, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
They
know.
have to deal with these lanes. I mean,
would-
we
would
also
go
had
for Roshan, though.
Kaiser. Yeah.
Alright,
Kaiser
they're
was
still
put
going
to
for
top
Roshan.
though.
Come on, Illidan, do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, he's gonna go for Rosh. I think you have to. How often do you kill this beast smash in this game? It's literally what, the second? Oh no, it's actually that 3 times before that. Huh.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, team fights, yeah. But yeah, this is how often have you really fun pick up on him? Answer is not really that much, so go for this.
Two are sinking on the high ground here, keep playing ward. Kaiser sitting on one side, Milan ringing in Leicester from the other here, the wall. And, well, he dies immediately here. Kaiser blows up the sinking in return. The ultimate comes through, but Garda doesn't really care because he has this magic immunity going. But now, that's timed out. He has to be careful, he has to slither his way out of there. And Kaiser
killed the Queen of
actually
Pain.
gets brought down. That's actually so big.
It cost a buyback from the Sand King, but it was very well worth it. And
Didn't
that's
realize
the
it was
Roshan for them.
went that in that deep, but yeah, he
Kaiser
buys back. Roshan will die though here,
He
and
just snatched!
this snatch it, got it! Now the fight breaks out, Kaiser believe that no BKBs here to just try and stay alive regardless, but there's not too much control coming in until the news comes out. Yeah, Illidan dies after the rockets come out. Not enough to keep him safe here. Boronisha, well, gets another snag in the support, but damn, that was...
Dire's top tower
What
is
was
under
that?
attack.
That was
How did he even get in there?
I
I didn't see it. Generally didn't see.
I didn't see it either. It was very messy. I want to say he must have infested somebody that jumped in there, but odds are he just walked in there.
It's not on cooldown. Well, yeah, he must have just walked in there just as Roshan died. All of a sudden, ProDota had a couple of people in there. Now, that was what we were looking
That's
for
Rex.
here. Just
This
win
is
a
Rex.
fight and go for Rex. Kaiser pops the BKB again. That ultimate semi-effective.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Milan down to a third of his health points. Garda has to upthrow his way out of there, but of course he's not Aegis for himself, so it's an extra bit of safety that you have when you go for this push. Yeah, Call comes through here trying to pull somebody up, and got Milan. Good start.
Dire's middle
Clockwork walks in. That infest.
So cheeky.
The hook shot to the creeps. Alright, that was next level because now he can intercept 33, but he might just die to the roar, and he will. 33 dies to the puck. Garda will stick on strong. Another one. And that would have been hilarious if there was a snipe. He went in there! Why? The control is dead. Damn sure, despite the Sonic Wave, Kaiser has to blink out because Illidan, well, they're going strong. Finally triggering the Aegis, and now he's hungering for more blood. He's hungering for the juicy Rubik blood.
Radiant's bottom tower
They'll
is
get
under
it
attack.
too. Despite the slow coming through from God, he's looking for revenge. Gets bashed up on the BKB another time. God, you still want to do this? Yeah, Kaiser comes through with his own BKB. Illidan will be healed up. I don't want to wipe up the silence. Yorkin on puck. That's a gem down. He doesn't buyback. Might have to use this if this continues. Garda with a dodge on the infest. Yeah, this curse was to try and keep them away. Didn't even affect the Queen of Pain. Lixon gets killed. Now Boronisha came back and he might just have to go back to hell. Just one or two more swipes, but this time he can dodge it. And it's the rest of EPG also use their buybacks and finally end this fight and make ProDota go back to base. That lasted like a cool 5 minutes, it felt like.
It felt like it, that's for sure.
I need some shit.
We could probably test by looking what the buyback status on certain heroes is. But anyway, that was a crazy fight, but still ProDota come up big with the double racks and then another ranged racks on in the mid lane. And
Radiant's
at
middle
first,
tower
like
is
Illidan
under
held
attack.
on for his buyback the entire time because he thought it wasn't worth it for the one range tracks, but then he was forced to buy back anyway. It was such a big hit for them because otherwise he might as well bought back earlier to prevent them from taking the range tracks in the first place. Also unlucky, Clockwork hookshot Illidan at the end there. Otherwise, they might have been able to get the Queen of Pain. Wyvern.
Definitely will be able to get
dead.
LeBron. None of the heroes inside of EPG are buyback right now. LeBron doesn't have the
Born
money,
Ninja, if he
neither
di-
does the clock. Oh.
If he dies there, so close. This is this is territory. If you die, you lose.
Absolutely. They need to win a team fight right now, but they're 23k gold behind. How do you even do that? Lifestealer, 3k health points, don't have to throw everything in him. Good start, he's down to half health. Still being controlled up before he can get the rage off. Now sitting inside the coil. No axe scores.
Deals so much
snap
damage
it,
though with the
and-
Daedalus.
Wow, just raw, just controlling them out. Those just secondary control that Rod did his tanking in. Probably one on the Tricopter. Yeah,
Wow.
fantastic. You just blow them up,
What a game.
breaking the sweat, and that last fight.
Is under attack. Radiant
Damn.
I feel like no, it. I don't know what to say honestly. That was very impressive from ProDota, but
Well, I know
Even
what to
though-
say.
even though the advantage for ProDota was so big at the end there, I will say that EPG could have definitely turned it around. Not necessarily at all times or at all stages of the game, but the nature of their draft and the way they played as well, they were, if they had maybe done a few more smoke gangs, the game could have been very different. So,
Yeah.
very unfortunate, but also once again very impressive performance from ProDota, and it turned around with that Roshan fight. That Roshan fight really turned it around, and
Yeah.
I think that gives. Or if I had to pick an endline MVP after this game, I think mine's going towards Garter, because that Aegis steal was so clutch.
Oh yeah.
They invested the buyback from the Queen of Pain. That was a huge deal for them. They literally just bought back on her, and they chose to not buy back on the Beastmaster initially because they didn't want to, and then they bought back on the Queen of Pain to fight that, and then the Aegis steal.
Don't think they had buyback on Beastmaster.
No, I don't think he had it either.
Wow. Yeah.
Didn't he? All right.
No.
Anyway, that was still huge to buy back on the Queen of Pain like that.
Yeah.
Because if you lose that fight, and they could have lost that fight again, EPG definitely still had a lot of fight in them.
Yeah.
That
I
was-
concur. Yeah, I was like I would have given the MVP to probably Kaiser again, up until that point, right? Because yeah, that was a crazy game regardless.
And the item decision from Garter as well. Usually when you build, I think a lot of people would argue that building Lycila is pretty straightforward. You go Armor, Dezo. If you do go Sanjin Yasha, yeah, sure, you go for it. And then Basher Abyssal. But instead of finishing the Basher into an Abyssal, he went for the Daedalus. That was such a smart item decision, and he destroyed Illidan with it.
Yeah. It was just like all he needed was to just get close to these heroes, and then we saw it at the very last fight as well. He took like 2 shots to kill the Sand King, and that's also a hero that's not necessarily squishy.
Yeah.
Even at the worst of times, so it's definitely worked out. They needed one of these big damage dealing heroes, and there's some good synergy as well with it. Together with the Beastmaster, that extra attack speed is very welcome for a hero like Lifestealer. That's of course strength based, so you don't have that naturally, and so you didn't have to go for this AC. Of course, Kaiser, he was the one eventually going for that, also helping out with this general plan that ProDota had about just taking it slow, waiting for the time to strike. The time to strike was, as you said, that Roshan fight, where they then pounced, and then they took it all the way to the high ground and towards the end.
I almost want to say if they don't snatch the Aegis, they might not even win that fight, because if they just give the if that fight Illidan just picks up the Aegis, I think they absolutely win that fight, because they would have to kill Illidan twice. And I think that one of the reasons why Garter had to go for the Daedalus in the first place is because Illidan is so damn tanky, with the BKB and Aghanims, and then also the parts of I don't think he had the completed Satanic at the time, but just parts of it as well. It's just he's so damn tanky, and if you have to kill him twice, I don't know if they could have. So just that one clutch Aegis steal, that was impressive. But I mean, overall, I think his game and overall ProDota's game has been very impressive. I think it's gutsy to not want to force it early with the lineup like they had, because Beastmaster, Lysular, you tend to think, all right, we peak very early. Let's just finish this game early. We have like early Necrobooks, which doesn't scale. Like Necrobook's strength doesn't scale into the late game, or it doesn't scale anymore afterwards. And Lysular doesn't do too well in the late game as well, right? So, but still deciding, all right, we know that we can still take this late, or to at least to a certain degree. I think that requires a lot of, also trust in your teammates, to know that you can do this. And I think they've been playing very impressively in both these games now.
So some good games out of ProDota. They will advance into the next round. We do not know who they will be up against. Winner of Danish Bears versus Gambit. But tomorrow we are back with Anji versus M19. So I want to thank everybody who came by to watch today. And thank you to the two of you for casting. This has been the Blood in the Streets inaugural Dota 2 Championship. I'm the Source. Your glorious casters have been Skim Gaming and Drag and Drop Dota. We will be back tomorrow, guys. So make sure you guys tune in again. This is brought to you by First Blood IO and Antlion Audio. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.